Well, they do pretty good because you can buy a whole pizza there. So I've seen people carrying out whole pizza at that place.
So, God, that fucking spot though. I think I pointed this out before, but Jeff?
Yeah?
Yeah. My God, he looks like Judge fucking Reinhold.
I never thought about that.
No, have you not? He's the spit. He's the spit of the dude. Like all day, the whole interview yesterday, all I could think was, oh my God, it's Judge freaking Reinhold. How have you never? Of all people, I figured you would.
I get caught up in the speech pattern.
That would be a hook shot. Jesus. That's fucking Jeff Gunn.
I gotta look at it again. Yeah, I can see
That
it.
is so fucking Jeff. It throws me off every time I see it. I want to point it out, but I feel like that's rude.
I wonder what Judge Reinhold's up to nowadays.
Just holding out for the Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
I like how for the shot, you don't get to enjoy the shot.
Yeah.
We have to be away from it.
Yeah.
Like some interesting shit's happening. Shit's Bless you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Bless you.
Whatever, man. Extra $20 just too
How's Tanner doing?
He's doing okay. He's just taking the rest of the week off. And he'll be back on Wednesday. Oh yeah, Monday and Tuesday I'll be here.
Guess I would be sending you on here.
Bob Agnew reporting. Dow futures down 334 points. NASDAQ futures 253 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-940-6161. That's 1-800-940-6161. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-940-6161. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Ukrainian Foreign Minister Kuleba says his country needs more help and needs it now.
Military support from Western countries has been key to Ukraine's surprising success against larger and better equipped Russian forces. But still, Kuleba says more weapons are needed.
The deliveries of weapons have to be sped up. And all our friends and partners know that. Many are working to make it happen.
Kuleba stresses Ukraine wants peace, but that it was up to Russia to show that they do too. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
South Korean prosecutors have raided the country's main spy agency, part of investigations into two past North Korea-related incidents that drew criticism that the previous liberal government ignored basic principles of human rights, all in a bid to improve ties with communist North Korea. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Another Russian dissident has been silenced.
Russian prosecutors have brought criminal charges against another opposition figure who has criticized Russia's military campaign in Ukraine. Ilya Yashin was due to be released after spending 15 days in jail on charges of failing to obey police. His lawyer said that Yashin was charged instead under a new law making it a crime to spread false information about the military. It carries a potential sentence of up to 15 years in prison. Prosecutors searched Yashin's home on Tuesday evening. Russia's cracked down on those who criticize what it calls the special military operation in Ukraine. Keith Peters reporting.
And recapping the hour's lead story, President Biden has now arrived in Israel, while back here at home, inflation has set another 40-year high. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, that one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen to what does he say. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Back once again.
I am back in the saddle, but my saddle's in a different location today.
Your captain's chair has taken a bit of a change. It's an upgrade.
It's actually a nicer captain's chair. Yeah, it smells of rich Corinthian leather.
This is what Picard, I feel like, deals with. You know, he's like, I'm going to go to the captain's chair. And he's
Engage.
Like,
yeah, I can see that. Engage. But good morning, everybody. We are broadcasting live from the Cahoon Armory here on the beautiful New Mexico Military Institute campus. Today they're having the big open house for the Cahoon Armory as it went over a major renovation and remodel.
$20 million.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. For those of you that are watching us on the video stream this morning, good morning. Hello. We are, you'll see the video of us here in the VIP suite.
This, you know what? I actually feel like an IP.
I do too.
V.
A V?
Definitely an IP to the V degree.
I feel very.
Yeah. I feel very. Fair enough.
But yeah, it's a beautiful facility. Yeah, we're doing the show this morning from the VIP suite, as you can see on the video camera. Got a beautiful view of overlooking the basketball court where the New Mexico Military Institute Broncos and Colts will call home here. Well, they've called it home for many years, but now they got a new set of tires, new paints on the bus here.
I've been telling everybody to go to the 106.5 Roswell Talk FM Facebook page to check out the pictures, but honestly, pictures do not do this place justice.
It's pretty.
Walking into this place is an experience. First and foremost, I walked in and I was using visual cues like to even get here. So like I pulled up to the building, and this is the thing. This is a Trojan horse of a gymnasium complex. It looks like every other building on this campus.
Well, it's by design.
I know, of course. It's unassuming. There was a propped open door, so I knew this was the one. and a golf cart in front of it. So I'm like, okay, well, some visual cues. But I walked in, and I was immediately in awe of this place.
Yeah.
And, I'm like, okay, so there's the elevator. So I got in the elevator. I'm like, okay, it's going to be an elevator. I ride an elevator every single day to work. No. that elevator is nicer than my first apartment. This is an amazing
Careful,
facility.
He's going to try to move in here.
I kind of wanted to. I'm like, I could fit a couch in the elevator.
Sean's going to try to squat here. If you see a random cot in a corner somewhere, you know what happened.
You're just going to hear a random, hey.
But it is a beautiful facility. If you do have some time today during the open house, I believe it gets underway about 10:30 or so.
10 a.m. is, I believe, the kickoff. They're going to have the red coats out here to cut the ribbon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So just in time for us to wrap up, they're going to be like, hey, thanks for coming. Get out so we can go to our open house.
Just quick boot to the keister.
Das Boot. So hopefully you can come out here this morning, be a part of the chamber and redcoats and the grand opening here, and then come see this beautiful facility and take the tour, and it's really nice. It's got an air of tradition already, even though it's newly remodeled. I mean,
I like that they kept the brick, and kind of the old facade of the mindset. Yeah, this is definitely a historic building.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got the catwalk. It's got I just love it's got the with the brick. It kind of gives you that homey feel,
It
but.
does.
You
could do a full-fledged stand-up set from this place as well. I mean, in addition to the basketball and volleyball.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of. And I was actually talking with Jeff Gunn earlier, and he was talking about when they originally designed this building, they were designing it so that there was 3 basketball courts running vertically.
Okay.
This way, and but. The need wasn't there unless they have tournaments and stuff. That You don't need 3 basketball courts going. They don't. I mean, at most you've got like the Colts and the Broncos practicing at the same time. But and even then, without partitions and stuff, it's kind of like a gym class in middle school. If you remember, just loud and
a little distracting.
Yeah,
a lot of squeaking.
So now when they did in the remodel here, they're like, no. One big court. It's designed. It's one place, and whether it's volleyball or basketball or maybe both at the same time, we can invent a new sport.
There you go.
They'll be ready to do it here.
Volley basket.
I don't know. I think you'd have to get rid of goaltending in basketball because that would have to be part of volley basket.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'd work on the rules, but
there's got to be a spike system set up. I'll get to I'll get the guys in R&D on it.
Spike dunks.
You just have to palm the ball in.
I'm thinking this might be a thing.
It really could be.
Combining of volleyball and basketball into one game.
On basketball levels.
Yes.
Really, just because I want to see somebody spike a basketball into a hoop. There's something about the idea of somebody just slapping a basketball into a hoop that makes me happy.
I could see someone tattooing a Jerry West logo right into your forehead from a spike.
So, I mean, now I guess this place is great, but we're kind of like burying the lead. You're coming back from vacation. I mean, you got all kinds of like stories of of ribaldry of.
We'll get to some of that.
All the shenanigans you got up in the mountains.
I don't know about shenanigans. I mean, I wasn't a heathen or I came and just ate copious amounts of food, spent money, and left, basically. But
I've been single for a couple of years, man. My mindset about vacations have changed.
It's going from one chair to another.
That's right.
But yeah, we'll get to all of that. We'll talk vacation. We'll talk that. We even got a few guests here and there.
Nice.
But I know we'll be. As far as guests go, we'll be talking probably a couple each hour. We'll have the Chaves County Federated Republican women join us this hour.
Okay.
Here in just a bit. I believe it's going to be Christina Arnold and Nicole Rogers.
Nice.
Give us an update there for their next meeting. Later on this hour, we'll have some of the folks from NIMI, maybe Jeff Gunn or some of the other folks. Next hour, in the 8 o'clock hour, I think around 8:45, we'll have General Grizzle, Superintendent, the head dude here at the Mexico Military Institute. He's going to join us. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, I believe we'll have Boys and Girls Club join us. We'll also have some more folks from the New Mexico Military Institute scattered in, joining us throughout the show as well, too, as we broadcast from the newly renovated Cahoon Armory. So
General Grizzle would be a fantastic pro wrestler name.
He's a nice guy. Good guy.
Good guy.
I mean, but yeah, Grizzle's
how's his deadlift?
You'll have to ask him when he's here.
We need to ask the important questions. All right, I'm trying to see if we can, we have a prospect here.
I will add that to the list of
We've already got the name.
Questions.
Now we just have to build the body and the person and the persona.
No, I. You know what? It's funny. I've spoken with General Grizzle several times. But one time got a little overshadowed. I was doing It was here at the Pearson, actually. They were doing an event, a leadership, just a leadership discussion, and they had Tom Crumlin is one of the panel speakers. General Grizzle is one of the panel speakers, and Super Bowl MVP quarterback Mark Rippon is one of the guest speakers.
You know what? I understand it overshadowed.
And I moderated that debate. But or not debate, but discussion. It wasn't a debate. It was just a discussion.
Just a round table.
And it was nice to talk, but Mark Rippon let me wear his Super Bowl ring while I was doing all this talking.
That's kind of a big dog move, man. It's like, hey, you want to wear my ring?
And I'm like, I'm sorry, you guys, you're talking to me. What? I wasn't paying any attention. I was completely. Yeah, I was completely like, oh, you guys are here.
Were like a high school girlfriend.
Yeah, I was
just
like,
he let me wear it.
Yeah, and it was like a hula hoop on my finger, man. This Super Bowl ring was ginormous.
You could fit 2 fingers in it.
And this was a '91 Super Bowl ring, which it's in terms of rings, it's ginormous. But in terms of Super Bowl rings, those '90s and '80s and previous Super Bowl rings,
they were a bit of a chunkier style.
Are nothing compared to the ones they do today. Like if you look at these 2000s Patriot Super Bowl rings and some of them Cowboy rings and some of those things, like if you ever look at a chart of like every Super Bowl ring side by side, just look at them, and by the time you get to the 2000s, those things look like rap videos compared to the ones from the 90s.
You guys are going for something here. Come
Whereas
on.
at least like the one from '91,
it's a bit more
like Rippon's ring looks more like a class ring, but it's just ginormous,
right,
and more valuable.
They look like they came from Jostin's back in the day.
But like the ones that like Tom Brady got earned and all that, those rings, there's so much more stones and crustaceans and blingness to it that it makes the earlier rings look a little jovial.
Wow, those, yeah.
Are you seeing what I'm saying?
I'm seeing exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
We also went with a largely silver trend towards the back half of the 2010s.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of gold up until, I'm going to call it, there's a Patriots run there. And, right after the Patriots run, we started with leaning more towards the silver ring or the white gold. But that's a fantastic set. And I can tell you this, I can get the entire set right now, well, besides this year's ring, for $209 on eBay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sure that's a plastic version I think of the Super Bowl ring.
Shh, let me believe.
Super Bowl napkin ring holders.
Let me believe.
But yeah, so I last time I was talking with the general there, I was a bit distracted by the Super Bowl MVP and hula hoop Super Bowl ring on my oh, there's our guests. Tell them to go up the elevator. And there's our guests. They're standing in the court there.
I asked Jeff when I got here, how do I get here? I mean, I know practice, but he told me to use the catwalk. So
there we go. Yeah, I said, well, this is the beauty of it. At least we can see our guests coming in. Mm-hmm. They don't necessarily know
although
where
we
we're
do
at.
have our back to them.
We do. Well, I got a text, which I'm assuming is my guest saying, "Where are you? Come on." Okay. Ooh.
Live radio, folks.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that means. This is where technology. Margaret's smarter in technology than I am because I don't know what that. She wanted a pin, and I don't know what that means.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can just like. Oh, I can throw her one.
Well, she's not here. It's
no, but like, you have a pin?
No, not like a pen.
Oh,
a pin, like a
I was like, you know how pins work.
Thing.
Okay. Oh,
pin.
You mean like a pin, like an Apple pin? No,
yeah.
he means like place a pin in the spot where you're at, so I can auto-locate you.
Yeah.
Which I understand. Since you have an Apple phone, an iPhone, you can.
I can do that.
You can place a pin. Yeah. It's kind of like to find my iPhone. Basically, she could find your iPhone, and it would bring her to you.
Okay.
But
that's cool. I don't know how to work that.
It's okay. They're on the yellow brick road. We're good.
All right. I don't know how that works.
By the way, that's the other thing that needs to be mentioned is, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later, is the actual like press box area, like where the broadcast will happen. That is a very nice setup.
Oh yeah, Jeff
That
Gunn's
is fantastic.
his little command post there. So
not very often that you get that much kind of open space. A lot
Yeah.
of times I hear about sweaty upper rooms for for the press boxes. So it's kind of nice to know they thought of all the little things.
They did. It's really nice here. So let's do this. Let's do weather, and then a quick commercial break. And then our guests, we're going to let them rest a minute as they hoofed it up here down through the thing.
After the long trudge to the studio.
And then we'll talk with the ladies from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. Good morning. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters live from the newly remodeled. It's not a new building. The building's older than all of us put together, but it's got new carpet. It's got new paint. Looks a beautiful place.
The refurbed Cahoon Armory.
There you go. Remodeled.
You guys are going to talk. I'm going to go around and find the one or two guns that are still in this armory because I know there's got to be at least one. For them to call it an armory, it has to have at least a gun.
There you go.
I'm going to find it.
Check the locker room.
All right.
There's a lot of guns there.
Nice.
Take some guns. Take it to the gun show.
I'm on it.
All right, 7:20. We're going to do a quick break for weather, commercial break, and then we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Valley weather, still a slight chance of those afternoon showers and thunderstorms today, but we will be getting a lot of sunshine as well, and our afternoon highs in the upper 90s to about 100. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and down to the mid-70s, and then we heat up on Thursday. Looks like low 100s with sunshine. About the same on Friday, mostly sunny and hot. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Your ride is broke, needs a fix? Come on down, we'll take care of it quick at Big O. Big O Tires. Whatever the problem will ease your fears, we got experience nearly 60 years at Big O. Big O Tires.
With nearly 60 years of experience and high customer ratings, you can always count on your local Big O Tires to give you quality products and trustworthy service, all for a low price. From July 11th through July 31st, save between $70 and $100 instantly on select sets of Bridgestone and Firestone tires with installation purchase. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and up to 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for details.
Find your path to a greater future at Eastern New Mexico University. With degrees offered both on campus and online, ENMU has the flexibility that you're looking for. And with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship, New Mexico residents can now start, continue, or finish their bachelor's degree tuition-free at ENMU. For more information, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success, that's what we're about.
Up your spotting game with the help of Zia Guns USA in Roswell. Zia Guns USA is now an authorized full-line Tacticam dealer. The same scopes, cameras, and spotting equipment that the big boys use on TV. So now you can capture your hunt like never before. Zia Guns USA in Roswell also has a new shipment of knives by Benchmade and Case. Come check out the amazing selection for yourself. Take your hunt to the next level with Zia Guns USA in Roswell. Closed on Saturdays but open on Sundays at 1907 North Main in Roswell.
Are you tired of the endless spiral of medications that mostly are there to treat the side effects of other medications you take? Many medical providers are quick to prescribe medication without looking for healthier treatment options. At Roswell Medical Clinic, we practice functional medicine, which looks for ways to treat your illness with healthier lifestyle changes and fewer pills. At Roswell Medical Clinic, our providers will take the time to explore treatment options that include lifestyle changes and don't necessarily rely on more prescriptions. Call Roswell Medical Clinic today to schedule your appointment at 575-623-3311 or stop by our clinic at 111 West Hobbs in Roswell. Roswell Medical Clinic. Don't wait for an illness to start valuing your wellness.
For over 40 years, Sierra Blanca Motors here in Roswell have been providing locals with quality vehicles and are committed to providing you quality vehicles and service for many years to come. No sales gimmicks, no inflated pricing, just a quality pre-owned vehicle listed at retail pricing or less. Have a used vehicle to sell? Get top trade-in value or an amazing cash offer today. Let Danny or Jose provide you a great car buying experience. Call 575-622-7907 or stop by Sierra Blanca Motors at 720 South Main Street in Roswell. Se habla español.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants use these skin folds on their bodies to crush mosquitoes. Mike Winters uses his to hide M&Ms. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. If you're wondering, hey, your studio looks different, it's because it is. No, we are broadcasting live here from the New Mexico Military Institute Cahoon Armory, as it is big open house day, as they've been, I think it's been about 2 years they've been doing remodels here. I don't know. COVID's thrown off my timeline of things, but they've been doing a renovation of this place for I think last 2 years here, and they're having the grand opening and everything. So they said, yeah, we'll let the radio guys show up here real early and do our stuff here. So we're here broadcasting live this morning, but joining us in our on remote studio this morning from the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, we have Christina Arnold and Nicole Rogers with us. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
Good. I've never actually got to do this remote, so that's exciting.
Gonna do it on the road, first time doing it outside the studio. So is it any more exciting or different, or is it?
Well, it's different.
Yeah.
I'm having to adjust, but I got to tour this new facility.
Pretty, isn't it?
Updated facility.
Isn't this a beautiful facility?
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, like, how do we finagle and do some little partying and stuff in here without, messing with the institute stuff
I just
here.
wanted to have a meeting in their meeting room because they're neat.
Absolutely. Maybe the Chaves County Federated Republican have to do a luncheon here or something. That'd be a good here. Well, I know I make you guys do this every time, but I'm going to do it just in case there's some new folks out there that aren't familiar. Tell the audience, for those that don't know, what the Chaves County Federated Republican Women do. Just give them a little background about what you guys are about.
Okay, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women are ladies and men members who we're a civics club.
Yeah.
And we work to educate our community on Republican policy,
conservative values, what Republicans stand for.
Candidates, and so we meet once a month. It's a membership. We do things in the community. We have several different committees that work to work with the community.
Sure.
So. Yeah,
it's like right now you're in election cycle, so really a lot of the attention's focused on education. Promoting Republican candidates now that we're through primary now, so we know who's going to be who's going to be on the ballot here in November. So now it's that rally the troops and educate the public about Republican candidates and getting them to vote for Republican candidates. But when it's not really election season, which it always is, but when it's not that election year, like you said, you're in the community.
Yes.
Working scholarships for students, working with other civic organizations and helping them do what they are passionate about. So that's the service side of it.
Yeah, well, in the kind of off-campaign season, we tend to focus on issues. We have monthly speakers, and during the election cycle, we actually really try to create a venue for candidates to come in and meet with members and community, citizens as well. Anyone can attend. They just have to RSVP.
Yeah. And this is really what why you guys come on each month here, because especially this time of year where every month that the Chaves County Federated Republican meet, it's a candidate learning session where one or multiple candidates will be there to talking about why they're running and all that, and gives we the voters a chance to ask them questions and talk to them. A lot of times at the luncheons you get a little one-on-one time with them. If you get there a little early before the formal meeting starts, you get to mingle and chit-chat or afterwards, and a lot of times that's a great opportunity to speak directly to one of these candidates. And if you have a question or want to hear this person's opinion on something, You kind of got a captive audience there for it. So
Yes.
that's a great opportunity. So I'm thinking, is it next Wednesday your next meeting? I was trying to think. I got in my calendar. I'm trying to think. All right, where are we at in July? Next week's your next meeting,
Yes,
right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, July 20th.
Okay.
At 11:30, the doors open at the convention center. We have a little meeting room there.
Okay.
And you normally, we have lunch, but you have to RSVP for it. But and then the meeting actually starts at noon.
Okay.
And so you'll have about 30 minutes to meet and mingle with other people from the community or our speakers. This next Wednesday, we have the congressional, district candidates.
Okay.
So CD1, CD2, and CD3 are
So all three.
Well, actually, so unfortunately, because of their busy campaign schedules, Michelle Garcia Holmes will be attending, and then we have representatives for Alexis Martinez Johnson.
Okay.
And Yvette Harrell. Yvette Harrell's in session right now.
But if you want to learn about all CD1, CD2, and CD3 Republican candidates, they're going to have either themselves or representatives there to talk and do all that. And they are they back in Capitol Hill now, or are they? I couldn't remember if they were back in Capitol Hill, or at least because like Yvette Harrell still isn't. It's a congresswoman, so she's in DC.
She's actually she couldn't make it because they were in session. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. So they're busy taking care of a lot of other fires to stomp out right
there's
now.
A lot of fires.
There sure is, isn't there? But this is the thing I love too. Is if you're wanting to learn the issues and learn all this stuff, this is a perfect setting for that, because you get to really talk with the candidates direct or with their people direct. You get to hear exactly what their positions on X. So if you really want to know specifically on X, Y, and Z what their positions on, you can really sit and talk with them about that, and that's what I love about. I mean, sure, you get a chance to hear them speak and talk to them and all that, but to me, the more valuable part is that part where you get to talk with them a little before or a little after and pick their brain and hear the human side of each of our candidates and things like that. So, but highly recommend you do it. And if you are, go ahead and RSVP, get you lunch. Food's pretty good. I don't know what the menu's going to be for next Wednesday, but whatever they put out, it's usually pretty good.
Lunch next, because it's 4th of July.
Oh yeah,
yes,
July.
Yes, we're doing picnic.
Okay.
And it's hamburger, hot dog.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of with all the fixins.
Okay.
Fries, apple pie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's American apple pie. Yeah.
And then tea or water.
Well, that's probably a good choice, because if you went like barbecue, everyone's like in shirts and ties and dresses.
Right,
everyone's gonna look. Everyone's gonna look like they just got in a fight with a barbecue sauce bottle. But so probably good play there. But another thing I would like to also encourage, if you'd like to become involved with the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, there's a great opportunity, because you can talk to all the different members, and as you mentioned at the beginning of the conversation, it is Chaves County Federated Republican Women, but men too are involved.
That's right. Well, yeah, I'm actually glad you kind of segued into that, because that there are other benefits, other than our luncheon. Number one, membership does help us support candidates, but we also try to provide information on a monthly basis. You can get involved with any of our committees. And we have newsletters going out. We have legislative updates. We have a lot of information. When there is a candidate in town that has a meet and greet, we actually send out notice on that. And we have several plans to kind of work with the Republican Party of Chaves County to start getting ready to get out the vote, because this, of course, is a gubernatorial year, and we have a lot of work to do.
Well, and I don't care, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. We all know voting numbers are lower than they should be. That's and I mean, I've heard people make the case that there's been a lot of candidates that probably would have won if people turned out to vote, and they didn't because of people not doing that. So yes, obviously you ladies in the Chaves County Federal Republic are like, get out, vote conservative, but you know that's the message: is you've got to vote. This is one of those things that so many people, you know, everybody's not happy right now. I don't care what side you're on; you're complaining about something, but the only way you fix that is registering to vote and voting and
that's
doing.
What surprises me is that there is a lot of chatter about unhappiness, and I do find it amazing when I look at the voting numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Many people know to vote. I don't know. I always kind of wonder, what did they not recognize? What happened?
Sure.
You know?
Well, and there is that mindset of people that's saying that their vote doesn't make a difference and things like that, and I know it doesn't seem that way when you're talking millions of votes in a presidential race, but you're not just voting for a president or just a governor or anything. There's so many different levels of government you're voting for at a general election, especially, you're going to be voting for governors, you're going to be voting for representatives in Congress, but you're also going to be voting for people that sit in positions at the county level, at a more local level, people that impact the decisions they make impact your day-to-day life much more than, say, a congressperson would. You know what I mean? So, and those elections are separated by sometimes 20 votes, 10 votes, or whatever. So even if you don't see it in the big picture, which you're wrong, but even if you're like, okay, what about the county commission race where some of those votes are separated by 10, 20 people, you know?
Well, the actual thought that your vote doesn't count is, to me, it's very much a fallacy, because granted, on the actual candidate level, there could be some question, and I could understand that. But what people don't actually realize is numbers mean a lot, and not so when you actually have to meet certain certain requirements by the Republican Party, it depends. You get a certain leverage according to how many voted in your county. You have politicians who look at counties or cities that were very active and had a high voter turnout, and they respond to those communities and are willing to work more in those communities, give more in those communities, because they know the people are watching. So if you don't get your number in that basket, then we get looked over.
I never thought of it from that angle, but yeah, it's a great point. It's because at the end of the day, a politician, once they're in office, they're trying to do the job, but to get to the job, they're trying to get votes. So they're going to go where the votes are coming.
Correct.
And if no one's voting there, then
right.
their time and their money is very limited. So they're not going to campaign in those stops. But even when push comes to shove, and like it or not like it, this is the world we live in. Those places that the squeaky wheels get the grease. That's just
exactly
how life is.
So if you need new roads or something like, they're gonna focus on your community because you have the voter turnout.
Yeah, absolutely.
So your vote absolutely does count.
So even if you don't think of it in the direct terms of checks in a box, think of it as in the direct terms as, look, people care over there. We need to focus our attention there.
We need to keep their vote, yes.
In a world where especially in political campaigns, all they're doing is they have people that do nothing but stare at stats like this all day.
Exactly. Yeah. Where are we on that?
Yeah, exactly. So yes, please go vote.
Yes.
Obviously, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women want you to vote Republican here, but please.
We do want you to vote, and we are more than happy. If someone needs a ride, there are programs out there to get a ride to vote. We are more than happy to help get them, set up.
Sure.
And, anything we can do to help people get out to vote.
Volunteer and do that. And this is another thing too. If you want to be a part of the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, this is the kind of stuff to help out at the meetings the monthly meetings, to help to get people to the polling locations on election day, to help with outside of the election season with scholarships and all of that.
Working the polls. That's why we are actually. It is now time. We're fixing to start on fire to prepare for the election. So, if you want to get engaged, now's a really good time to actually reach out to us, become a member. We'll definitely we have a place
Absolutely,
for you.
too. And by the way, too, I guess I'm asking or suggesting is or whatever. But next Wednesday, when you guys come out to the meetings here, of course, if you're looking to get involved in campaigns, governors, congressional, whatever. Those are usually pretty good places to meet the representatives there, so you can get in. Or if you're looking for like yard signs or campaign stuff, that the people that you need to talk to are usually at those events.
Or we can introduce you to the right people. So
Sure, absolutely.
If you just have a hankering and a passion for one specific candidate, we can definitely make sure that you're hooked up to help.
Absolutely. So think of the Chaves County Federated Republican Women as a conduit for that too. So if you want to get in touch with one of, I know prior to June, the women play neutral because the various candidates are slugging it out for the Republican nod. But now that they got the nod, now it's circle the wagons and let's help them go into the general election. Yes. So we're officially in that. The wagons are circled now. So you'll notice the arrows coming in from the sides here. If anybody has any questions about anything getting involved with, whether it's wanting to be a volunteer or they just got questions about the meeting next Wednesday, is the Facebook page probably the most efficient way to get a hold of you guys?
Well, we give a phone number, but I have a feeling I don't want to cause any traffic accidents by giving my phone number right now. So because I know when I'm driving down the road, I'm always like, okay, remember that number, and by the time I get to where I forgot the last two.
And for those who don't know, Christine Arlo is also representing as a city councilor too. So some people are like, I want that number because I got to pick her brain about something else. So that does make her busy because her phone number is more in demand than some others. But
I don't mind a phone call.
But if you look for the Chaves County Federated Republican Women on Facebook, you can like and follow that. And if you have a quick question or want some more information about anything, that's a great way to shoot a message. And one of the folks will get back to you pretty quick about that kind of stuff. And then of course, come on out next Wednesday. It is the third Wednesday or second Wednesday?
Third Wednesday.
Third Wednesday of every month. They meet about 11:30. At the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. They come and come for lunch, but if you're trying to, lose a few lbs, then just come for the dialogue. But and really between now and November, pretty much every monthly meeting is going to be focusing on candidates running, and you get to either talk to the candidate direct or the candidate's candidate staff or top people. So
yes, we have the judicial candidates coming up. We have Lieutenant Governor and the Governor speaking again in September.
Great.
So we have a lot of opportunities for meeting candidates.
Good deal. And of course, if you want to get involved on a different level, you want to start out handing out signs and making phone calls and doing all that stumping for candidates, and then reach out to the Chaves County Federated Republican Women. They can get you in touch with whatever candidate on the Republican side that is running for office. Throw that caveat in. But and then find out what's the best number to get a hold of either you or whoever wants to do.
I'll always give out my number.
Okay.
It's 505. I'm sorry, I got distracted because whenever I say 505, I actually get it's really, are you from the north? But I just had that.
No, just my phone.
I had that number like 16 years ago and refused to get rid of it.
So you grandfather before there was a 575. It's like it was 505 before 575 was 505.
Yeah. But so anyway, it's 505-353-6669.
All right. And of course, you don't remember any of that. We'll get it back to you later here. So don't get in a car accident.
Knows it,
And of course, come on out next Wednesday. That'll be the next meeting of the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, 11:30 a.m. RSVP for lunch. You don't necessarily have to RSVP if you're just coming for the candidate, but it never hurts.
It does help, but if we can always maybe make a seat for you.
Yeah, but go on and have a burger and a dog and some food. There's no ribs, so you don't get it all over your shirt.
And apple pie.
And an apple pie, and then come and hear the candidates, and then like I said, ask you questions, get involved, and let's turn it up. We're a couple months away from election here. It's a lot a lot's going to be happening by the end of this year, and you need to be informed and educated on it. So start doing that now. So good deal. Is there anything we missed?
I think we're
got it. We nail it. All right. Well, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you coming.
Oh, no, thanks for
sidetrack.
the beautiful tour. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so lovely.
Jeff's going to give you a parting prize. I'm just kidding. You can get that, a personalized Jeff Gunn tour. That's pretty fancy. So thank you, ladies. Do appreciate it. We'll see you next time, okay? All right. It is 7:44. We're going to go ahead and pause, take a quick break here. And then after news and a quick break, we'll, I think, talk to Jeff Gunn here a little bit. He's a man who has all the keys. He's got a ring of he's got every key of this whole building in a ring. So we're gonna talk about his. That's right. Ooh, key card, fancy. So it's the same ring, but it's just cards on it. We'll be back. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for a Pecos Valley News update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Eddy County Sheriff Mark Cage will be offering active shooter training for the public at no cost through a program called Operation Hard Target. The first training session is scheduled for Saturday, July 30th. After that, the training will be offered twice a month. Seating will be limited. Registration will be required. Businesses, faith groups, schools, civic organization, and groups of 15 or more can submit a training request form to schedule a group training. To register, just call the sheriff's office. The main operator of the WIP site has now been replaced. Nuclear Waste Partnership's contract is scheduled to expire in September, and now a $3 billion 10-year deal has been awarded to another company to conduct the daily activities at the waste isolation pilot plant near Carlsbad. The DOE awarding the contract to a firm called Tularosa Basin Range Services, based out of Reston, Virginia. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
When you're looking for a great hotel, a restaurant, a new job, a veterinarian or dentist, car repairs, or any other company or service, here's why you should never trust online reviews. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by CarShield. Protect your car from expensive repairs. Visit carshield.com/Kim and save 10%. Deductible may apply. Online reviews of stores, services, and products are useless and sometimes even dangerous because they're so easily faked. These phony online reviews are so prevalent that the Federal Trade Commission is ready to punish any business that allows them with fines of more than $40,000 for every fake review. Knowing which review is fake is nearly impossible to tell. But one giveaway is when you see a group of raving reviews suddenly appear on the same or very closely spaced dates. The best way to check any business out is still the old-fashioned way. Ask someone who you know for a direct referral, personally. I post breaking tech news 24/7 at my website. That's commando.com. I believe home should be the safest place on earth for every family. That's why I use and recommend Simply Safe. Simply Safe is advanced whole home security that puts you, your home, and your family's safety first. Simply Safe offers comprehensive protection not only against intruders and burglary, but against expensive home hazards from flooding to fires. With 24/7 professional monitoring, Simply Safe's agents take action the moment a threat is detected, dispatching police or first responders in an emergency. Simply Safe uses proprietary video verification technology so that monitoring agents can visually confirm the threat in order to get higher priority 911 dispatch. Monitoring plans are affordably priced at $1 a day with no long-term contract or hidden fees. You can customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafekim.com. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring at simplysafekim.com.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a slight chance of those afternoon showers and thunderstorms today, but we will be getting a lot of sunshine as well, and our afternoon highs in the upper 90s to about 100. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and down to the mid-70s, and then we heat up on Thursday. Looks like low 100s with sunshine. About the same on Friday, mostly sunny and hot. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. And we got fall sports coming up and previews very shortly. But the foremost question on my mind, are we going to be seeing masks all season long, all year long, 2022, 23? Hopefully not. Everything kind of changed at the end of February, and all of the spring sports we saw, we didn't see the mask wearing as we've seen over the last couple of years. Of course, all of those were outdoor sports. Now, last we saw the indoor sports, the basketball players last year were wearing masks over the mouths, but not over the nose. You had wrestlers awkwardly trying to keep masks on while they were wrestling somebody. But I've been assured that the New Mexico Activities Association will follow whatever the state says, so let's keep our fingers crossed and keep an eye on those numbers. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Twitter sued Tesla CEO Elon Musk on Tuesday to force him to complete the $44 billion acquisition of the social media company. Musk and Twitter have been bracing for a legal fight since the billionaire said Friday he was backing off his April agreement to buy the company. Twitter's lawsuit opens with a sharply worded accusation. It says Musk refuses to honor his obligations to Twitter and its stockholders because the deal he signed no longer serves his personal interests. London's Heathrow Airport is capping daily passenger numbers for the summer and telling airlines to stop selling tickets as it steps up efforts to quell travel chaos. Britain's busiest airport said Tuesday that it's setting a limit of 100,000 passengers that it can handle each day through September the 11th. The restriction is likely to result in more canceled flights, even after airlines already slashed thousands of flights. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force. And if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff. And you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
For people suffering with joint pain, simple movement feels like just taking a step feels like, and lifting your arm can feel like. Don't let joint pain be in charge of your life. The skilled orthopedic experts at Loveless Medical Group SCORE are helping more people take back their lives with some of the most advanced surgeries in the region. We're doing more than restoring joints, we're restoring lives. Call Loveless Medical Group SCORE today at 575-625-3300 so life can feel like, oh.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. Welcome back to Mornings with Mike Winters on the road, live here at the newly remodeled and renovated Cahoon Armory. Joining us in our VIP suite here is Jeff Gunn, the sports information director. That's still your official title here at NMMI, or is it just head cook, just purveyor of making sure all things work on the sports side?
I like your title better. That works. That's much more encompassing and much more what I do. Yes, sports information director. They originally was media relations.
Yes,
but I kept getting calls for like everybody or anything at NMMI, and so we've kind of officially switched that over to just sports information.
There you go. But pretty much logistic-wise on sports side of things, you know, the coaches and the players handle all the X's and O's, and Jeff handles all the behind the X's and O's kind
exactly.
of.
Exactly. The stats, the streams, the website, social media, pictures, anything that you see in the Roswell Daily Record or, on our social media sites, anything that gets put out there on the World Wide Web, Probably, that's sports related. Probably kind of went through our department in some form or fashion.
Exactly here. So I know your staff and yourself have to been. This is a long time coming for you guys here to the renovation and remodel of this facility, and I imagine you guys are as ecstatic about this as probably the players and the coaches and everyone that uses this place on a day-to-day.
That's exactly right. I mean, from a technical standpoint, from a production standpoint, this place is amazing compared to what we had. I mean, the original Cahoon Armory building was built in 1928. Started in 1927. There was one remodel in between those, I think in the late 60s, to kind of update some of the electrical and plumbing and some of that kind of stuff that needed to be overhauled. But we really haven't had a major upgrade besides, some minor tweaks and fixes since that time. And so you were dealing with one electrical outlet in an area and no Ethernet ports at all, Wi-Fi, I mean, we're trying to throw server racks in these uncooled closets, that kind of stuff.
Well, and let's face it, this building was built long before any of these technologies were thought of. Electricity in some of these cases, you know what I mean? We're not talking internet, we're talking electricity. That's
early 1920s. There were probably a lot of buildings that didn't have a dedicated electrical system.
Yeah, that was a big city highfalutin thing at that point,
Exactly.
But that's the part, but here's another amazing feat why it's so great we're here today is because this is a historic building. This building is steeped in history, like many of the buildings on this campus are. And anytime these buildings need to be freshened up, remodeled, they're historic buildings. Therefore, you don't want to come in and just make the Cahoon Armory look like the Staples Center. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You don't want that because that's not where it's at. It's very expensive, but. So when they come in here and they're building it, they want to keep that historic feel. They want the brick. They want that nostalgic feel in here. But you want Ethernet ports. You want, amenities that water and things that
high-speed Wi-Fi
yes.
and access to it. Yes. Most
so,
definitely.
but the trick is because obviously even the construction of this building, when it comes to the remodel, because it's a historic building, some of the techniques and the way they constructed buildings back then, they want to preserve that. So you can't just get your drywall guy in here that slapped. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You got to get people that are experienced in doing some of these methods of preservation and restoration. So it's more than just remodeling your family room. It really is, because you've got to. I would imagine they probably even had conservators and stuff looking at this stuff, saying, "Yeah, you can't touch that."
That's exactly right. That was one of the first steps, and and I apologize. I know that Wade Construction is the one that kind of put all this on, but I don't know who the architects were. But we worked very closely with those architects and doing everything. And the first step was going through and identifying, asbestos areas and other, problem areas, but also places, that you cannot touch this, or this needs to be preserved. Exactly. And most of that was the outer shell of the building. And so they came in, gutted a lot of the stuff, but you'll notice stuff like stairwells and stuff that were just these concrete basins. There wasn't any reason to do it, and they served their function still. But we needed some, Americans with disabilities type things. That's why we added in the elevator and some of those kinds of things as well too. But
you do have to make it into the more modern compliances and requirements of another thing. Construction permits and requirements and all that weren't the same in that era as they were today. So.
I was just reading an article about that one, because you're talking about the history of this. So first off, Edward A. Cahoon is what this is named after.
Okay.
And it is called Cahoon Armory because it was originally an armory.
Sean keeps looking for the guns. I told him you're probably not going to find any, but you keep looking.
We don't have them here anymore. We do have guns on campus. I believe that the ROTC department has an armory in their part of their basement. Because they do have field exercises that they take the kids on. Or I say kids, but we're talking about
one of those M's in NMMI is is Military Institute, and that part of military lifestyle and training is guns and firearms. That's just
right.
part of it. So
that's exactly right. So we did have, some small caliber arms and ammunition here, and there was actually a shooting range in the basement at one time too. So hence, the name of the armory.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because I was looking through and I saw one of the record articles, Roswell Record, and they kept trying to say it was Cahoon Hall, and I'm like, no, it's always been Cahoon Armory building from its inception back in 19.
And I imagine there's probably a few people when they hear Armory, then they get confused and think it's down by the National Guard down on the south end.
Yes,
and it's like, well, no, because that's an actual working armory. This is now a sports complex that artists formerly known as an armory. And
yes, exactly. The only guns that we shoot here, the long range.
That's right. Those are dropping bombs, I believe, and then they're working on guns in the weight room. Yeah.
Yes, there we go. That's better. I like it. Nice. I have to work that in somehow. There's some sort of media article. I'll quote you on that, Mike.
There you go. I'll take it. I'll take that there. But if you'd like to come see this beautiful facility for yourself, today's the day to do it. After the show here, about 10 o'clock, right?
10 o'clock, we got the Roswell Redcoats. They're going to show up. I believe the mayor is going to come as well, too.
Great.
So we're going to have the room.
I believe he's an alumni of NMMI, so I wonder if he stomped around in this room when his days as a...
That's a good question. Now, the actual area we're sitting
we're in the air.
Did not exist. Because this is a new...
courtside there. Maybe ran around on courtside out there.
Most definitely, yeah. Or maybe even down in the basement, too, because we had a weight room, when that was kind of overhauled and as such, too.
Yeah, I think where we're at right now would have been like airspace for the court, basically, I think, is right about where we're sitting.
Exactly, because this was designed to have 3 east-west courts. And, of course, the court that you're seeing now is north-south.
Good deal. Well, I just saw it's 8 o'clock. We got to get you. You got to get you into news. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll talk more on the other side. Don't go away.
Wall Street is... Release of a closely watched inflation report shows inflation running hotter than analysts were expecting.
The consumer price index rose 1.3% in June, according to a new report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Over the last 12 months, the all items index increased 9.1% before seasonal adjustment. The core rate of inflation that amidst food and energy rose 0.7%. The energy index rose 7.5% over the month, and contributed nearly half of the all items increase, with the gasoline index rising 11.2%. The food index rose 1% in June, as did the food at home index. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Touting long-standing deep ties between the U.S. and Israel, President Biden has now arrived in the Jewish state.
The connection between the Israeli people and the American people is bone deep. It's bone deep. Generation after generation, that connection grows.
But Israel is highly skeptical of the president's support for the Iran nuclear deal. Israel, the first leg of the president's current Middle East trip. On Friday, Mr. Biden travels to oil-rich Saudi Arabia, where he will meet with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman on Friday. A windfall for abortionists in New York State.
Democratic New York Governor Kathy Hochul plans to disperse $10 million from an abortion provider support fund among 13 abortion groups that run dozens of abortion clinics in the state. Hochul's encouraged those seeking abortions to visit New York, so the money will be used to create even more opportunities for abortions. Phase 2 of funding will dole out $15 million to additional abortionists. Tasha Stevens reporting.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 352 points, a loss of more than 1%. The NASDAQ is off 120. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon 2 factors, taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
Sri Lanka's president has fled the country, slipping away only hours before he promised to resign under pressure from protesters angry over a devastating economic crisis. The crowds quickly trained their ire on the prime minister. They stormed his office, demanding that he also go. The Sri Lankan Air Force says the president and his wife left aboard one of its planes. But that brings little relief to the island nation, gripped for months by an economic disaster that's triggered severe shortages of food and fuel. Add to that the political chaos that has ensued. Military envoys from Russia and Ukraine set to hold their government's first face-to-face talks in months. They're meeting in Istanbul to discuss a UN plan to export blocked Ukrainian grain to world markets through the Black Sea. Ukraine, one of the world's largest exporters of wheat, corn, and sunflower oil. News and analysis at townhall.com. Several people facing charges in an alleged conspiracy involving the lyrics of one of the best-selling albums of all time.
The Eagles are thanking authorities in New York City for indicting 3 men who had gotten their hands on Don Henley's handwritten lyrics to Hotel California and other hits by the group. Prosecutors say the suspects knew the lyrics were stolen but lied to auction houses and buyers about where they got them. At one point, they even tried to sell the papers to Henley. The men have pleaded not guilty through their lawyers, who say the charges are unjustified. In their statement, the Eagles say the case exposes the practice of music memorabilia sales, which often feature, they say, stolen items. I'm Oscar Wells Gabriel.
Recapping the hour's lead story, the Consumer Price Index shows inflation surged 1.3% in June from the month before. The year-over-year gain, 9.1%, a fresh 40-year high. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I promise you, whatever scum did this, that one man on this force will rest for 1 minute and they'll leave behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen to what does he say. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
Right, here we go. And good morning. Why are you not yellow yet? Why are you not green? I'm sorry. Why are you not green?
Hello.
You know why? Because it's on the wrong profile. Now it's green. All right, there it is. See, that, if I just kept my mouth shut, y'all would have known and kept going, but now I'm sitting there stammering and stuttering. I hit the wrong thing. So, good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM live. Took the show on the road this morning. We're here at the beautiful, newly remodeled and renovated Cahoon Armory here on the wonderful New Mexico Military Institute campus. It is technically it's the calm before the storm here.
Yeah.
At the Institute. Not just here at the Armory, but
Right.
but institute-wide, as many of the cadets are still enjoying their summer breaks. But they'll be here, a couple weeks, I'm guessing, about 3 weeks. They're going to start pouring in here in masses, aren't they?
And yes, the cadre will be here next week, and those are the leaders of the cadets. So they have to learn how to lead before they can start doing that.
So they have their own little leadership basic training, in essence, to especially for the new, where the underclassmen are now, where they were the ones that were getting led, now are the ones that are leading. So there is a transition there.
Exactly. I mean, there's always been a motto at the Institute, before you learn how to lead, you have to learn how to follow. So they've done that. Now they're going to learn how to lead, and they'll take the cadets through that, and that is what we call our cadre.
They did their rat walk. Now they got to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And so now it's part of the other part, bringing all that in. But the athletes will report back in, I believe, the 27th of July for some of the sports, like Bronco volleyball, Bronco football. And then the high school athletes will get back. They usually come back 4th, 5th of August or so.
Okay. Hey, while I got you talking about that, I know you guys had a lot of, I think it was soccer going on over the last. Is that part of NIMI, or is that part of like high schools or stuff using the facilities here?
We did have the 7-on-7 tournament. It wasn't soccer; it was football.
Okay.
So all the skill backs, and we had about 20 schools, including Artesia, who competed for the championship in the Division I.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about soccer. There may have been something.
It may have been.
Too.
It was the soccer fields most of a lot of it. So I just
them up with just 40.
I think I just saw a bunch of cars and people running around. I was like, assumed it was soccer, but it may have been football.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
that was last Friday, and it was great. It's the first time we've had the 7-on-7 tournament since prior to COVID.
Oh, yes, it's been about 3 years.
About 3 years, exactly, and it's put on by the Bronco football team.
Awesome. Well, they had a great turnout because you can always tell when there's an event going on at the Pearson or any area.
Because
Maine starts
every car in Roswell. Absolutely.
And so I was like, and then I was like, it's too early for back to school yet. What's going on?
Exactly. Very good.
But and then I was thinking, well, maybe they're all getting exciting for the Cahoon Armory. But
and we also did have a baseball tournament too. Coach Cook and the Bronco baseball program, they put on a high school tournament every single year too for.
Well, and that's just it too.
Teams.
I know, we joke that it's quiet, the calm before the storm here, but even though there's no instructional classes going on during the summer here, there is many camps for youth and locals that go on in various, whether it's leadership camps or STEM related camps. I know we talked to some of the professors that hosted a STEM camp earlier this summer, and then of course your sports camps. I know, like I said, football, baseball, volleyball, they all put on their sports programs for local youth here. So if you missed them for this year, please reach out for next year and check them out. And obviously, it's a win-win for everybody because your children get to learn some tutelage of sports and things under the experts. And let's face it, this is a great tool for NMMI to say, hey, when you're of age to call this place home, maybe this would be an option for you and your family. So.
And that really is what it's all about. I mean, Shelby Forshner, our head Bronco volleyball coach, has always done a great job reaching out to the high schools and the middle school teams. And, of course, she and her assistant coach are very active in the travel ball or club volleyball scene as well, too. So, and yeah, and it shows. We have really made a concerted effort across all levels, at least at the collegiate side or the junior college side, to recruit New Mexico athletes, and it has paid huge dividends. I mean, if you look at last year's Bronco football team, I believe we had 15 kids from New Mexico on that roster, and 6 of those kids played. If they didn't start, played significant minutes, and so that's what we wanted to do. Shelby Fortner has had 4 people on her roster from New Mexico, and 2 of them played, almost every second.
It is kind of almost like when you watched, especially the championship run last year, it was kind of like watching some of those games on Saturday afternoons. It was almost like watching a New Mexico NMAA All-Star football game because you'd see some Goddard standouts or Hobbs or various, football schools around the state.
That's right.
And you're like, man, that kid, I mean, imagine if he was on a team and then watch some NIMI games. And some of those imagined ifs are right there on the football field with the Broncos. So, and of course, I'm assuming this year the team's going to be doing more of their games back out at Wool Bowl and everything for the season as they make a run to defend their title.
That's exactly right. I mean, I've already talked to Gene Dow, the station manager there for you guys at KSVP TV or radio.
Yeah.
TV,
Yes and yes.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we talked about that last week to try and make sure that we've got all that set up and ready to go. And I think you guys are going to do every single home game we've got. And then
awesome.
If we make it to the conference playoffs, then and we're hosting them, then we're going to try and pull out the stops and do some special things too.
Not putting any pressure, but Coach, when y'all make the playoffs and stuff.
Good call. Yes, I like that. And it's that kind of positivity, and it is becoming that type of attitude. Before, we were the underdogs last year, never been there to a national championship. But then you look at Shelby Fortner, and she's gone, a couple of times.
The volleyball program has been just putting out excellence on and above, below the radar for many years now.
That's right.
And that's it's funny when you mention that because we as a community see it from afar, and we kind of see the highs and the lows because there's been tragedy with that team. There's been success, with accidents and things. It's just
what was that, 5-6 years?
Yeah, that team has kind of been at the highest points together and at the lowest points together, and they come through as a team, and that carries over to the product on the court, and you could see it every time they play.
But I mean, that excellence really is carrying over to a lot of the other programs. I mean, Bronco baseball is always in the hunt now for a conference to go to the regional tournament. Bronco basketball has made it the last 2 years to the regionals, and those were things that hadn't happened in 15, 20 years prior. So it's starting to become expected. And,
Good.
And that's a beautiful thing. I mean, NMMI across the board probably had one of the most successful seasons in, I would say, or arguably, the history of NMMI. Because our high school teams did so well and our college teams did so well. Every team made it to the playoffs except for one on the junior college side and except for two on the high school side.
And this is something that I don't think people quite realize so much that we're, especially obviously junior college because they're the ones doing recruiting for the various teams.
That's right. We cannot recruit for the high school. I'll say
yes, that's
for the New Mexico Activities
Exactly.
For
the record, wink, wink. No, I'm just kidding. but a coach at the junior college here for NMMI is kind of got a slight disadvantage in the recruiting world when it comes to getting athletes to play for their programs, and because NMMI is, as all colleges are, I mean, it's education first, but it's a military institute. They teach and train in a certain way, and they do it to everyone, whether if you're on the football team or just a part of the cadre, it doesn't matter. And so if you got a kid that's being touted by other colleges to play football, and you say, hey, come play for NMMI, and they're like, but I got to wear the uniform and march do all the things that are expected of a cadet
early
here
in the morning,
and the other college is like, you ain't got to do that with me. I'll give you. You know what I mean? That's a disadvantage. So they've got to. So for coaches here have to push past the you get that fun party side. To say, but here you're going to get a top-notch education. Right. You're going to be trained by excellent staff here.
And the prestige.
And when you complete your degree here, you're going to be able to write your ticket wherever you want, whether it's continuing on to a 4-year college to pursue a sports career or your business career or military or whatever you want to do. But a college kid that's being recruited by football and getting all kinds of love thrown at him is not going to be too receptive when a guy says, you got to work for us, but we're going to work for you. We're going to make you, you know what I mean?
It's like, better.
Wait a minute,
that's what it comes down
I got parties and stuff here. I get to wear a uniform and a crew cut over, you know what I mean? And that's
exactly
so
right.
Coaches have that against them already. They got to really build that it's about the program. It's about this family. It's about, once you're here, you're part of our group, and we'll go through hell together to make
exactly
sure,
right. And you hit it right on the head. That's what our coaches try and do. They try and accentuate the positive aspects of the military side of what we do here. We're going to teach you discipline. We're going to teach you duty, honor, and because of that, you will get achievement in the end as part of that. Great example of that is Anthony Grant, our amazing running back that we had. This is a kid who was, for the most part, homeless, and he came to NMMI. He fell down a couple of times, had have his bumps and bruises, didn't really love the military side of things, but eventually he figured it out. And because of the family of NMMI, direct talks with General Grizzle in the office saying, hey, we want you to succeed here. What do we need to get you to help you do that? And guess what? He's going to go play for Nebraska, or he's
That's amazing.
playing for Nebraska.
And you made it happen. You made success happen.
And regardless, if he doesn't even play one snap for Nebraska, he's got an education. He's got
He's already got an associate's degree. Right
he's
now
got the tools to where he's going from basically, a homeless kid with no prospect for a future to now having a foundation to go wherever he wants to go with it. And that's and there's so many kids that need that opportunity, and so yeah, but that's the hurdle they're facing is especially when you get a highly touted New Mexico athlete. They've got the Techs and the OUs and those big name schools.
They do. All the big D1 schools are coming after him. Yeah, Texas Tech and A&M and Oklahoma and you name it.
Yeah, and when they're whining and dining you, so to speak, and then NMMI, one of the coaches,
good treatment, right?
Coach comes in and says, "Hey, I can't do that, but I can really promise you a foundation that's going to be great." Let's face it, a 17-year-old kid that's looking to go to college here, I'm sorry, he's going to be a lot more enamored by the bells and whistles, and
You're right.
and that's why
now with this new facility we've got a little bit better bell or whistle in our arsenal, I guess, so to speak.
But I guess my point is, when I got to the beginning of this was you're seeing great success on the field that, like you said, I hadn't seen in years, in spite of that. And that's what I love about it is that the coaches and everything here, I mean, they're doing the work on the field, but now they're convincing these students to say, yeah, we can't offer you the glitz and glam of the OUs and all of that, but what we can offer here is much more lasting. And to see that, and then obviously to see it on the, I mean, look at it. The New Mexico Institute Broncos are the junior college best in the country.
That's right.
Country, not New Mexico, not in the country, the United States of America. You know how many junior colleges there are in the United States of America? I'm guessing thousands. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're the best. And that's
football. I think there was. I think there's like 101 across the nation now.
And they won it all, and it's right here in your own backyard. So that's pretty impressive for them. And like I said, volleyball's been doing this, like that's just what they do every year, And basketball's now starting to step up their game, and you're now really seeing. It's almost like NMMI's always been known for quality education, quality, curriculum, quality products. The sports program is steeped in tradition, but because of what we talked about earlier, they're always fighting the uphill battle, so it's wins and losses. I mean, let's face it. Yeah. Why do you think Army, Navy, those aren't always the best sports teams in college either? Because they've got the same problem recruiting.
That's right.
Except for on that one, they're tying them to 4 years after college.
That's right. Those guys have actually signed a contract with the United States.
NMI, you don't have that commitment, by the way. Once you've graduated, you're free to go wherever you choose. Military's more than welcome, but you're not obligated by any stretch. But anyway, so that's what the point I'm making, and so despite those stigmas and that wall that these coaches have to bust through, you're seeing championships, you're seeing top-notch level athletics here at NMMI. It is great to see, and I think the Cahoon Armory here, this remodel, is just a footprint of what already was going on here. It's like
That's a great way to put it.
We already got the body. Let's put the nice outfit on it to make it, to make it go with it. We got the rock hard abs. Let's put the shirt on to make those look good.
That's right. I mean, it's all stems from the very, very top. General Grizzle, our president and superintendent, he's always been a huge supporter of the athletic department. And has done a great job with that and helped bolster, asking us what we need to get the job done. And then, of course, my boss, Jose Barone, has stepped in. And
who's on yesterday?
Yes. And
Did you get the note, by the way, that you have to
fix it? He'll be on here again in a minute. He's even dressed up in his military uniform. I see him right there. So you'll get to see him here in a minute.
Very good. Well, we probably should shut up so we can let him come on the radio. Sure. We got the general coming on about 8:45 here. So let's do this. It's 8:23. In case you're just tuning in, we are broadcasting live from the open house, which officially will get underway here about 10 a.m. this morning at the Cahoon Armory here on the NMMI campus. The place is beautiful. I hope you guys come out today for the open house. They're going to be doing the red coats, the ribbon cutting, the grand opening about 10 o'clock this morning, and then they're going to be offering tours and things of the facility.
See it while it's still shining before they scuff up the floors.
So right at 10 o'clock, right at 10 o'clock, they'll be ushering us out and ushering you guys in. So definitely want to do that. All right, let's do this. We're going to talk with Mr. Barone, Colonel Barone, I believe. If I no misters around here, sorry. And then we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings of Mike Winters.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a slight chance of those afternoon showers and thunderstorms today, but we will be getting a lot of sunshine as well, and our afternoon highs in the upper 90s to about 100. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight and down to the mid-70s, and then we heat up on Thursday. Looks like low 100s with sunshine. About the same on Friday, mostly sunny and hot. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
At LeGrand Funeral Chapel, we believe that every funeral should be a reflection of the life it honors. The joys, the triumphs, the faith, the family, and so much more. For us, no detail is too small, no request too big. This is Rosa Aguilar. When the time comes to choose a funeral home, we hope you'll let us serve your family. At LeGrand Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Is that our camera right there?
Your ride is broke, needs a fix. Come on down, we'll take care of it quick at Big O. Big O Tires. Whatever the problem, we'll ease your fears. We got experience, nearly 60 years at Big O. Big O Tires.
Well, I've been told
with nearly 60 years of experience and high customer ratings, you can always count on your local Big O Tires to give you quality products and trustworthy service, all for a low price. From July 11th through July 31st, save between $70 and $100 instantly on select sets of Bridgestone and Firestone tires with installation purchase.
How you doing?
Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and at the 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. See store for details.
The scissors got to be sharp.
That's right.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger. Something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns.
Yeah, it should
and
work right in
together,
that ballpark
we can
here.
make a difference.
All right.
Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact.
Here we go.
Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 27 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us I say our studio, but it's his studio, technically, here in the Cahoon Army in a VIP suite, we have Colonel Jose Boron, the AD, Athletic Director for the Institute here. So how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great.
How's I imagine you guys are pretty excited. We were talking with Jeff earlier, and we're kind of talking about what coaches and everything go through to bringing and seeing the quality of product here, and now we got the facility and all that stuff. But I imagine this for you as an AD, this has got to be a huge tool to do your job, because really as an AD, you're all about logistics, making sure teams get to where they need to go, who schedules, you know what I mean, all the things that aren't X's and O's in athletics, you're the guy that's got to deal with all that. And so I imagine a facility like this makes it so much easier for you to do that.
Well, we are super proud and excited to have this facility. And you're right, Mike. It's an incredible tool and asset to be able to bring in a potential athlete and show them the level of commitment that this school has to athletics and to their success as athletes and as students. Obviously, we talk a lot about athletics, and I know Jeff's mentioned earlier how important and prominent our academics are, but this just brings in just another tool in the whole thing, because this facility also has classrooms and it has study areas, and so the gym can sometimes be used by physical education classes. So there are a lot of benefits outside of just athletics, but you're right. First and foremost, it is a very prominent, very modern, and very relevant athletic facility that brings us up to par with some of the best institutions and some of the best facilities around here. I would say that for our level of competition, we are among the top tier of facilities with the renovation of Cahoon Armory.
Well, having sitting in this beautiful facility right now, I can't argue with you on that, because I mean this is a beautiful facility. It's I hope I know cadets and alumni, they're going to fill this armory all season, whether it's a volleyball match or a basketball game or whatever's going on out here. But I really hope the public comes and enjoys this facility too. Come out here and see a Bronco or a Colts game, whether it's the volleyball teams or the basketball teams or whatever's going on out here at the Armory. We'd love to see the public come and enjoy this as much as the community here at NMMI does.
Absolutely. The public's always welcome to come to any of our games. Now in this, shall we call it the post-COVID or the immediate post-COVID area, there are not so many restrictions, no masks and all that other stuff, but really, time to get out there and enjoy the local entertainment, including athletics. We have obviously high school athletics and we have college athletics. The only, college team for at least 90 miles anyway. And,
by the way, a national championship football team that'll be playing on the Wool Bowl here on Saturdays coming pretty soon.
Absolutely, and a national runner-up volleyball team, mind you.
Perennial. Always in the running for national championships.
The volleyball team is always up there, and scrapping to try to get it done. And I do believe our volleyball team will end up with a national championship. They've got that mentality and that work ethic, and it didn't quite happen just by 3 points. Didn't happen last year. Well, I believe our coach will have them ready this year, and they'll be right up there.
They're going to be hungry. I know that. When you get that close to tasting it, that makes you so hungry when you want to come back for it. So I imagine they're going to be a determined team this year, but not that they aren't every season. But I've got to ask, for you here, what's like what's the future here? Like obviously it's going to create its own. Anytime you get a new place and new things, it's going to, anytime the fan base will kind of make it their own and stuff. But I'm just curious, like any nicknames, things like that have started for this place? You always have your pits, or is there any of that the student body or the coaching staff or anyone starting to percolate more around as names or any of that stuff?
One of the things that we are working on and we'll get very serious about very quickly is there are some folks interested in naming certain areas of the facility, and we'll be able to
Name it in honor of people.
Well, or in honor of their company.
Gotcha.
We've got some potential stuff to do there. And,
okay.
And very soon,
so some honorees that we want to honor.
Within months, we'll have a name for the VIP room and for the court and perhaps for some of the other areas. And some of those may be individuals, but we do have some interest from local companies that might be interested.
And let's face it, the Cahoon Armory went from an empty building, a big empty room that you could shoot basketballs and play volleyball, into a facility with like all kinds of state-of-the-art internet and rooms and facilities. You know, like Jeff and I were talking, where we're sitting at, it did not exist. This is probably about a basketball would pass through here towards the hoop, right about where we're sitting at now. And so I imagine for you and your staff, you're still figuring out all you can do with this facility because it's so new. Obviously, you have great ideas, but as you spend more time here, as things evolve, you're probably going to find and adapt and change things to kind of suit the needs of the school and the people.
Absolutely. There's the first dozen times or so that after the demolition and when walls started going up that I walked in here, I got lost.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know where it was up or down or whatnot. It is completely different. We literally gutted it to almost 4 walls and some retaining walls downstairs in the basement area. But
so really the exterior walls that you see is probably about it got gutted down to that at some point. Okay.
I mean, it was, as you said, an empty shell.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of great ideas. One of the things I was able to do is I visited some of the better facilities in the country, and I was able to procure some of their ideas.
Gotcha.
And see what worked for some other folks. That catwalk, is an important feature that some other folks have in our conference. The football locker room is based on some of the highly competitive teams we play against. So
gotcha.
We took bits and pieces and brought them over here and instilled them. But to your point, there are a lot of this building. It still has a lot of potential. A lot of things that we can still do with it, and we'll, as you said, we'll find our way. One of the important things that there are areas downstairs that are stubbed out for future expansion. In other words, when we bring a softball team in here, hopefully in the next few years, we've already got areas that are stubbed out to convert into locker rooms, and then we would just move those spaces to other places.
Nice.
So we have plans, and we've planned with the future in mind. And I would love nothing more than to see this building outgrown and us have to build another building before I retire. I don't know that that'll happen. But the goal is
I think you're going to be with this one for a while.
I love it, but we do have plans, and we've made some strategic decisions to allow us to expand the use of this building in other ways in the near and distant future.
Great. Well, it's and when folks come on down today, after 10 o'clock, though, like I said, they're going to have about 10. They'll do the opening ceremonies, ribbon cutting, and then we'll be doing tours. If you got time today, come on down and see this facility. It is a beautiful facility, and talk about what Colonel's talking about here. Some of the versatility versus, you know what I mean, where you can adjust on the fly, but it's a permanent staple type thing. So if you need to move, like you said, these locker rooms and things, at some point this place will be able to evolve as the needs change down the road here. So to see that flexible, and let's face it, I'm thinking like where we're at here in the VIP, this is kind of a new concept because let's face it, you guys aren't used to building luxury boxes and suites like the Lakers have and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so, it's kind of like we got a beautiful spot here. How do we want to do? Is this where we want to keep the generals? Do we want to say, hey, do we want student body to use this in some way, shape, or form, or but that's going to be now the next challenge is how do we take this and maximize the use out of this and things in various parts of this facility. And I think that's going to be the fun problem you guys are having over the next couple of years is just how can we make the most out of this, most out of all the bells and whistles from this place?
Well, I think with regard to this VIP room, I think you make a great point. One of the things that I don't want is to become a place that is completely devoid of cadets that only certain people get to use. I think we're going to use it in many ways, but one of the more important things is we will hold cadet-centric functions in here. Certain groups of cadets will get to enjoy games and other functions in this VIP suite.
Gotcha.
We'll also offer it out to the public, to companies that want to maybe entertain some out-of-town guests or some other employees, and then our internal employees and other constituents will be able to use it. I know the alumni director has already asked, for the chance to have alumni events in this room.
That'd be a great idea.
There'll be
yeah.
a lot of things going on in here. And the idea is not to keep it open for the few. It's to keep this thing packed as much as we can within reason for as many people to enjoy, in particular our cadets.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for all you alumni out there listening, get ready to get your tickets for volleyball and basketball, and you're going to love the games out here, and who knows, maybe you can spend a game or two up here in the VIP box and check it out. By the way, for those watching the video, I know my fat head's in the way, but that's kind of the beautiful view of the court you get. It's when you come up into the VIP. It's at the you come in one entrance, and then it's at the back end, and you actually the volleyball locker rooms and everything are behind us. But it's kind of the center focus when you walk into the actual Cahoon court part of the armory here. It's kind of, you got the beautiful bleachers, but that back end is the second deck there is all this luxury VIP box here. So it's kind of one of the focal points of the gym. And so I think a lot of people are going to enjoy watching the game from up here, and because you feel kind of special up here too, and that's always something that's important in a VIP box. You want that. You want it to feel like a special thing and make it feel like something exclusive. So, like you said, the cadets, everyone will hopefully as many as possible get to have that experience at a sports event here at Cahoon Armory. So, and non-sports events, because I'm sure there's a few of those from time to time.
Opportunities for many things. The other thing that we certainly are going to look to host is other events outside of our own athletic events. You know, we have a very close relationship with the RISD, so should they need a neutral venue or an alternate
happens
venue,
around playoff time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We certainly would be willing and would love to put this facility out there as something that could be used for that.
Does the student body use this for like pep rallies and things, or any campus-wide events that are this gets used for?
We have had some pep rallies in here. In fact, we for a long time we didn't, and we had right before COVID we had a big pep rally, and we had to postpone those. Hopefully we'll do that again this coming year. But yeah, we have other events here, and we obviously have a very nice venue in Pearson for that kind of event. But when we do an alternate location, again, this is just gonna expand our ability to have a nice venue for other events other than athletic events.
Yeah, it'd be good. And I don't want to, but I think you can even do a couple concerts and stuff in here if you played your cards right. Of course, I know parquet floors are very. You don't want anybody tromping around on those things, but
that might create a little heartburn with me. But we do have plans to obtain vinyl coverings that we'd be able to
protect all that.
To protect all that. And I know the sound system in here. I don't know. I would assume Jeff's already talked about it because he loves the sound system. So we have an excellent sound system here that might lend itself to that.
Sure. Real quick, I know we got the general coming here, but just a quick story. You talk about this. One of our old announcers, he used to be the basketball coach, Artesia High. This is years ago, and it was one summer, and him and his assistant coach spent like all summer redoing the floors and everything in their gym, and had it just looking. And then the kids went back to school, and the principal had a pep rally, and they're sitting there banging the trash cans on the. He was livid. He was so mad. So I get that when I say concert, like, whoa, well, my floor, no. Yeah. Those floors are highly protected and coveted. Yeah.
Certainly, we'll take good care of it. And like I said, we've got plans to get stuff to cover it. Should we choose to host that?
It's a beautiful floor. I love the. Now, is that a brand new floor?
New floor.
Okay, because it's got that nostalgic look to it still, you know what I mean? So I didn't know if they tried to preserve some of that.
They did a good job with that kind of thing. You know what? One of the things that they told us the last time we refinished the floor, which was nearly 10 years ago, they said, we cannot sand this floor anymore. That's it. The nails are popping out. You know, you've got to do something.
It's paper thin.
There were already, plans to do this building. So that's one thing we knew from the get-go is we had to pull up that old floor and we had to put a brand new one. So this is a new one. Hopefully we can sand this one 100 or more times like we did the other one. And but I think the design came out really nice. In particular, the one thing I asked for was that we incorporate the state of New Mexico in there, and that we put the traditional older Bronco in there, and I think they did a good job.
I do love it. I love I know Sean's OCD with the painting of the electrical here, but yeah, I love the darker wood inlay of the Broncos at each end. that is a beautiful. I'm sure they got. But to me, I'm just thinking of someone's painting or staining or however they make that happen.
Stain that they used
it's
on there.
beautiful, but it's. Don't take our word for it. Come out here today. Like I said, 10 o'clock is going to be the ribbon cutting, and then what time are you guys doing tours and stuff till?
So after the ribbon cutting, we'll step into the gym area briefly, and the general will have some open remarks for the public. Welcome everybody here. And then after that, we'll break out into groups, depending on the crowd size, we'll break out into groups, and we'll have tours of the building led by some administrators, some of our coaches. So we'll tour the entire building. As I mentioned before, this will be one of the few times that people will get to see every inch of the building. Once it's occupied by cadets, of course, we won't offer up the locker room tours and that kind of thing. But for now, the whole building will be open for people to walk through and see what it's all about in there, the inner workings of it.
Well, good. Well, come on out today. If you got a few minutes here this morning, come on out and see this facility, and then get on to NIMI's website, start ordering tickets for volleyball and basketball season here when they go on sale.
Absolutely. So. Thank you guys for being here today.
Thank you, Colonel. And you have a beautiful facility here, and I can't wait to see how many more championships and championship rooms come out of this facility.
We will be hanging banners in this building very soon.
There's plenty of room in the rafters, so we just got to start getting the hardware up there. So thank you, Colonel. Appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again later,
Thank
okay?
you. Yes, sir.
All right, it's 8:43. Let's take a quick commercial break. I believe General Grizzle's in the other room waiting to talk to us here, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with General Grizzle. He's kind of the head dude in charge here at the
President Superintendent.
That's right. He's the big guy here at in radio we have the big guy. He's the big guy here. So we'll be back. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings of Mike Winters.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Twitter sued Tesla CEO Elon Musk on Tuesday to force him to complete the $44 billion acquisition of the social media company. Musk and Twitter have been bracing for a legal fight since the billionaire said Friday he was backing off his April agreement to buy the company. Twitter's lawsuit opens with a sharply worded accusation. It says Musk refuses to honor his obligations to Twitter and its stockholders because the deal he signed no longer serves his personal interests. London's Heathrow Airport is capping daily passenger numbers for the summer and telling airlines to stop selling tickets as it steps up efforts to quell travel chaos. Britain's busiest airport said Tuesday that it's setting a limit of 100,000 passengers that it can handle each day through September the 11th. The restriction is likely to result in more canceled flights, even after airlines already slashed thousands of flights. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites, Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes, in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7, and the Candlewood Cupboard 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood Gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo and grills. And the Candlewood Lending Locker for stuff you couldn't pack, like crock pots, board games, and more. Call 575-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home.
Your health is important. At Kelly Nutrition, inside Roswell Medical Clinic, our goal is to help you lead a healthier lifestyle. We carry a complete line of vitamins and supplements, including products from Now and Protocol. We also have a huge assortment of essential oils, healthy teas, and nutritional supplements. And if you're on the keto diet, we have everything you need to make your diet a success. Kelly Nutrition, inside Roswell Medical Clinic at 111 West Hobbs in Roswell. Stop by or call today, 575-623-3311, and start your journey to a healthier you. Kelly Nutrition and Roswell Medical Clinic. Don't wait for an illness to start valuing your wellness.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
That'll be your microphone here, and we're actually about ready to go on. So let's do that. And good morning. It is, where's my time? 8:46, and joining us in, I say his studio. It's more his, I'd say our makeshift studio, but we have our superintendent here, the head guy in charge at the New Mexico Military Institute, General Grizzle, with us. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Welcome. Thanks for being here with us.
Well, thank you for having us. And first thing is, I would say is congratulations on this beautiful facility. I know there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears over the last few years making sure that this place gets redone and remodeled, and finally we get to see it here. And when the students return in a couple weeks and sports seasons get underway, this place will be rocking and rolling. So,
well, we're so excited. It's been 3 years. It's a year and a half overdue. No one's fault.
Well, COVID happened in that time.
COVID happened, and then shortage of supplies. One thing compounded on top of the other. We don't blame anyone, but it's been done. It's done correctly and just absolutely magnificent. Our students haven't seen it. It's going to be such a surprise when they get to come in here over the summer. Some of our students that help out have been in helping us, and they're just blown away. We had some alums here this past week that were interviewed by KOAT. They're traveling, celebrating New Mexico program.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that on
that
there.
this Friday.
Oh, good. So look for it.
They were just blown away. They didn't know what to say when they walked in to see it in comparison to what it used to look like. Remember, this 1928 was when this building was built, and it had no substantive upgrades since then, particularly in the infrastructure, wiring, plumbing, heating, paper fuses. It just was incredible how desperately in need it was needed to have this done to it.
I was talking with Jeff Gunn in the first hour, and that was exactly, I was like, when this building was built, electricity wasn't necessarily quite a thing in I said that was for highfalutin city folk back then, and so to just have electricity, and so they, to have this facility now and have things in it that were never comprehended or thought of when this facility was built, that's what makes it such a great feat. And then, of course, the other angle is this is a historic landmark facility. And you just can't roll into a historic landmark facility and start knocking down walls and doing stuff. The conservators, everyone, there was a whole lot of what can we do, what we can't do. So that 3 years you're talking about with COVID and all that, it's still a Herculean feat, in my opinion, to be able to take and preserve what you wanted to preserve, but modify and amend this till it serves the needs of people in 2022.
You're exactly right. In fact, every building on this campus except 3 are on the national or state or both historical registry. So when we start one of these massive renovations, a lot of people stick their nose in and make sure that we do that preservation of the ambiance and the things about the building. And so it's been an incredible project to include them in their areas of expertise, but at the same time incorporate these new and modern functions. One of the things we always point out, 1928, we didn't have females till 1979. In the basement where all the locker rooms and so on,
they were all set up for men.
They were all floor urinals. When we started having women's sports, the only thing we did essentially was put plastic shower curtains to separate areas. Females had urinals in their locker rooms. So we desperately needed, from a Title IX perspective, to upgrade this facility. You go down there now, and now the locker rooms and stuff are specifically built for females in their sports. Just, again, remarkable when you see what has been done, and been done specifically to fit today's needs and standards.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that. Yeah, I think of Ethernet ports and data cables, and we're like, no, this is the 20s. We're talking removing urinals and adding, things for females in the restrooms and locker rooms to accommodate their needs and things like that. And you're like, yeah, that's because this is such a historic facility. And like you mentioned earlier too about the the rigmarole that goes through it. Yeah, it is a rigmarole, but at the end of the day, we're thankful for it because that, to me, with this campus, its core is its cadets and its staff and what comes out of this campus. But you can't have that, in my opinion, without facilities like this. These stood the test of time, historic facilities. Yeah, it's modernized and everything else, but this is the identity of this camp. Like when you think of NMMI and you think tradition, you think of all the tried and true and all that. That's all coming from stuff like this, coming from this facility, coming from the 30-some buildings that are historic landmarks here on this campus. So yeah, it's a pain in the butt to maintain it, but we're so thankful those folks are here to help us preserve it. So ideally, when we're long and gone, the next superintendent sitting here, in 30 years, 50 years from now, is going to be talking. Maybe it'd be about time for a renovation here again.
Well, you're right. I just started my 14th year. I'm very pleased about that. I'm pleased that I've had the support of the community, the public, the Board of Regents. But with that comes the ability to do those things. It takes time to put together a plan. I joke about this, but it's true. My first week that I was here in 2009, my staff was giving me updates, trying to, the proverbial drink through the fire hose kind of briefings. And David West, who's now my chief of staff, was the director of facilities. And David was doing his briefing, and he could tell, I guess, a confused look on my face. And pretty soon he stopped and he said, "Well, General, during your interview to be the superintendent, didn't anyone tell you we had a more than $100 million deferred maintenance backlog, documented backlog?" Well, I did kind of what you said. No, that wasn't part of the interview process.
I must have missed that little detail.
But, I really try to be able to deal with stuff if I know about it. So once he told me, there was actually a report done by the state of New Mexico. We had a guide for what needed to be done. We put together a NMMI 2020 capital improvement plan. That was 2009, 10-year plan. I'm very proud to tell you, as we sat here today, we've exceeded $110 million in physical improvements on this campus. And this obviously is one of them. You've been in Pearson Auditorium.
It's a beautiful facility.
That won architectural awards and contractors awards. This, we hope, will do the same. It's been photographed. It's been filmed to be submitted for awards. All of our buildings are that way. It adds to the cost because we don't have the luxury of tearing them down. We have to find a way to renovate them in today's modern standards, yet keep that unique ambiance you're talking about.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, it also adds to the prestige and ambiance. I think, with facilities like this, it almost puts credence into what your instructors teach here and things, because this kind of backs up that tradition, that tried and true, that is being taught in in terms of leadership.
There's no question our teachers use the campus as well. They don't always teach the class in the classroom. They're out. They use these facilities.
Sure.
And I've said many times in our recruiting and retention efforts, this facility, this whole complex, is our best recruiting tool. If we get prospective students here and they see this incredible place, it just almost makes them want to come and be a part of it.
Yeah, I think places like this cement the reputation of NMMI. When I think a person hears NMMI, they have a certain what they think. Military school, discipline, putting out great product of cadets and students to go on to be our leaders of tomorrow. But I don't think any of that happens without places like Cahoon Armory here. This cements that tradition. This cements that. It's kind of like West Point. There's there's certain halls and facilities that are hollow ground, and NMMI has equally is enriched history of that.
NMMI is referred to as the West Point of the West, being the military school, having our ROTC program where we commission students into the United States Army. But it was built actually to look like VMI. If you've ever been to the VMI campus.
Ironically enough, I'm from Maryland and Virginia.
Look very similar.
I worked at Goshen Scout Camp in Goshen, Virginia, which is about 17 miles from Lexington, Virginia, which is home of VMI and Washington and Lee University. It's a two-college town in a small town, also home to Stonewall Jackson's house. Robert E. Lee's buried there. It's a very historic town, but campus of VMI. That's a beautiful. You know what? I can see that when you say that. They got a lot of the stone and a lot of the rock walls, and very similar to some of the layout here.
The style is called military Gothic, and all of our buildings are built in that style. The buff brick. Both facilities are built that
As soon as you
way.
say that, I can kind of see the references just spending summers in Lexington.
We were talking about
seeing
the
that
memories
campus.
of the cadets and stuff. This facility, again, is one they frequently talk about, particularly when we have what we refer to as mandatory games. The kids call it mandatory fun. But when we are in the hunt for a championship in basketball, volleyball, and we require that the Corps be here to support the team, we actually have to bring in portable bleachers which surround that floor down there. in cadets, and then staff and faculty and people from the community. Unfortunately, a lot of junior college games only attract 200 to 300 at their regular attendance level. But when we do that, we're at 15 to 1,600 in that room behind us, and it can turn the tide of a game.
Sure.
Quickly. And it's been fun because I'll have college presidents that we play against call me and ask me if it's going to be a mandatory game because they know it will turn the tide of a game in a heartbeat if those cadets get behind the action of what's going on the floor.
I'm sure you're talking to them. It's like, well, President, every time you come here, is it usually that way? There's probably going to be like that next time. It's based on your team. Yeah, we need to rally. But I love that, too. I love that tradition. We're almost out of time, but I do want to ask, speaking of that, of course, the football team, the JUCO football team, obviously coming off the national championship, how's been that result of, they played almost, I think, all their home games at the Wool Bowl this year.
We did.
And we'll be looking to do that. Obviously, I'm thinking that must be a success for the Institute and getting good results for that, based on we're doing it again this season. So
absolutely, and I'll quickly respond. And I don't want to please forget that just 30 days before that, the volleyball team played for the national championship.
Exactly.
And we were almost a two-time national champion within 30 days.
I got a feeling we'd be dealing with that very scenario where we got a couple of championships around the same time this fall here, or winter.
The football championship was remarkable. We had 24 young men off that team signed Division I scholarships, big Division I scholarships. Our running backs at Nebraska starting now. Our big tight ends at my alma mater, Oklahoma State. Our tight end is at Houston. Marshall, our quarterback, is now starting for New Mexico State. 24 signed Division I scholarships. Our coach tells us that because of this NCAA portal where people can enter if they're just upset with what's going on at their location.
Okay.
And they entered because they weren't playing, and they contacted us and said, as a national champion, if I come to your school, will you play me? And so, according to the coaches, we have had a remarkable recruiting season, and they don't anticipate a dip at all in our level, our ability.
Winning a championship does have those kind of effects on things.
We're playing a good number of our games again in the Wool Bowl. There'll be plenty of opportunities for the citizens to come out. And then finally, I want to get a plug in. I hope you're aware we have resurrected the Wool Bowl as a sanctioned NJCAA bowl game. And hopefully
I had heard rumblings of this, yes.
Hopefully we'll play in it, but hopefully we won't because we're in the hunt again for the national championship.
We need a bigger bowl game, if not.
Bowl game. We've got great community support. We have a major sponsor. I won't go into that now.
We'll get into details as all that happens. Yeah.
It is the first weekend in December, and we hope we get great community support. It was held at the Wool Bowl for 16 consecutive years. It was the #1 junior college bowl game in America when it was stopped, and it hosted the national championship one of those 16 years. So we're very excited to bring it back to Roswell.
Well, we can't wait to see more in there. And like you said, unless NMI is playing for another championship, then we'd love to see him in that bowl game too. So, General, thank you for spending a few minutes with us here. He'll be out and about 10 o'clock here for the ribbon cutting. And, folks, if you come see this facility for yourself today, like I said, after 10 o'clock this morning is when the public's invited to come check all the facilities out here. And then get online and start getting your tickets for volleyball and basketball games for the fall here. So
absolutely.
In winter.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. It's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of News in Progress.
School hallway as a gunman went on a shooting rampage inside a classroom.
It's been known for weeks, but the 77-minute video published by the Austin American-Statesman shows it. Gunshots ring out. Then heavily armed police milling in the hallway, even using hand sanitizer. Finally, the classroom is breached. The gunman shot. The video dominated talk at a city council meeting last night. Adam Martinez, whose 8-year-old son attends the school, spoke to KSAT and was critical of police.
Anybody see them do a good job? Just because they tried to go in there, was that good enough? Is that good enough for the people that were bleeding out?
I'm Julie Walker.
A Clear Creek Township, Ohio police officer hospitalized in critical but stable condition, being shot in the head while answering a domestic violence call last night. Clear Creek Township, about a dozen miles south of Dayton, Ohio. The Dow down 215 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
The president of Sri Lanka has fled the country.
Slipping away only hours before he promised to step down under pressure from protesters angry over economic chaos. This triggered severe shortages of food and fuel. Protesters are also demanding that the prime minister go as well, and thousands rallied outside his office today, with some storming the compound. The prime minister's office declared a nationwide state of emergency and imposed a curfew in part of the country. The Sri Lankan Air Force said the president and his wife left aboard one of its planes bound for the Maldives. Tasha Stevens reporting.
The U.S. Navy has sailed a destroyer close to China-controlled islands in the South China Sea. Washington says it was a patrol aimed at asserting freedom of navigation through the strategic waterway. A guided missile destroyer USS Benfold sailed past the islands and continued on with its operations in the South China Sea. News and analysis at townhall.com. For the first time in several years, the White House has hosted the Congressional Picnic.
Hundreds of House members, senators, their families, staffers, and White House aides chowed down on fried chicken, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, smoked barbecue brisket, and veggie sandwiches as President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden bring back the Congressional Picnic.
I wish we were able to do more of this so that you all got to know one another well.
The president says the gathering gives members from both parties time to get to know each other as neighbors.
Get to know each other's families. Get to know your spouses, your kids. Get to know one another in ways that are more personal.
Tim McGuire, Washington.
Twitter pursuing a lawsuit against Tesla CEO Elon Musk, trying to force him to complete a $44 billion acquisition of the social media company. Yet on Wall Street, the Dow down 179. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, that one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen to what does he say. I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3. Guess we'll get Roy on the 3. Deuce it or trace it up.
Yeah, tres inviernos.
Thank you, sir. Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. We are broadcasting the show live this morning here at Cahoon Armory on the beautiful New Mexico Military Institute campus. Today is the open house, grand opening of the renovation and remodel of the Cahoon Armory here. For those watching our video at home, you can see the backdrop. We're actually broadcasting the show from what's called the VIP suite here at the Cahoon Armory. It did not exist prior to the renovation. It is we're in a part of the building that was just midair, basketball court at that time. But now they have this beautiful VIP suite. Come see. You're invited. Come out to be a part of the open house here. Like I said, they'll get underway at 10 a.m. with the open house. They're going to have the chamber redcoats here. They'll be doing the ribbon cutting and all that stuff. And then come on down and check it out for yourself. See this beautiful facility, offering the tours. I was just talking with General Grizzle here, and it's amazing to see the restoration side of things because of, there's brick through the whole facility, and some of the brick was 1928 brick, some of the brick is modern new brick, and I challenge you to find the differences because they did an amazing job of joining and marrying the old versus new here at the facility.
Did you happen to catch what year they renovated it?
The year of the...
or did they recently do it?
Well, they did. They had to do an upgrade with the bathrooms and everything, because, like you said, when this was built in 1928, there was no women's sports. Mm-hmm. It was just men's sports. So the locker rooms were all built for men with urinals and things like that. So when women's sports came in, they had to do a renovation to, make locker rooms and things, especially with, like you said, Title IX.
Girls, am I right?
Making it, more amenable to their stuff. But, and so there's been some of those renovations, but nothing like that they've done here in this one. It's, they basically gutted it to a shell.
So it's more of a renovation than a remodel.
Yeah. I don't know which one's the bigger, renovation, remodel, but maybe it's a renovation and remodel. I don't know the science behind it, but I do know
remodel's the bigger one actually, because that's where they probably tear it down and.
Yeah, well, I know this thing they pretty much gutted, and now it's beautiful. I'm telling you, it's a college sports facility. They got just beautiful. Just the woods, the amenities, the facilities. They did an amazing job. So I hope folks come and check it out here today. I love seeing the old and new mixed together, and the floor is beautiful for folks. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, go into any room and you can find anything.
I don't know if you can get a good view of that floor from the camera view there, but it's a beautiful floor.
Yeah. I should be able to.
Yeah, I can't. We'll go back, and I know some of our B-roll footage and stuff you'll see throughout the deal. It shows some of the other parts of this facility here too. But come see it for yourself later this morning here about 10 o'clock. As far as this hour of the show goes, I think we have the folks from Boys and Girls Club scheduled to join us at some point this hour. Hopefully they got word out about that we're here.
Sean's at the studio currently doing his other show.
Yeah, his main show. He's got a show too right now. So if they do go there, maybe they'll see him.
Yeah, so that's where he's at.
But they'll join us at some point here, and then of course I believe we'll have some more staff here. And, it might be our volleyball coach, Coach Fortuner, may have her join us in just a little bit as well during the show here before we wrap things up. I'm getting a text, so I'm not going to see what it's buzzing about. There we go. Guess is at the front door. Can you do me a favor? and see if you can guide them, our
Yes.
guests, to this way. So let's do that. We'll make sure they get guided over here to us. It is 11 minutes after 9 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and take a weather update here and a quick commercial break. He's going to track down our guest, and then we'll come back on the other side and talk with our guest or shoot the breeze or chit-chat or whatever. But you're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters live from Cahoon Armory here on the beautiful NMMI campus. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away.
Pecos Valley weather, still a slight chance of those afternoon showers and thunderstorms today, but we will be getting a lot of sunshine as well, and our afternoon highs in the upper 90s to about 100. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and down to the mid-70s, and then we heat up on Thursday. Looks like low 100s with sunshine. About the same on Friday, mostly sunny and hot. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
to remember.
In times of uncertainty, one thing seems to be constant. Crime tends to rise. Zenith Security Services, a locally owned company that's invested in our community, reminds you that for less than 5 quarters a day, you can be proactive in protecting your home, family, and assets with a monitored alarm from a top UL-rated company. The hardest calls we receive at Zenith Security are those needing our services after the fact. Call Zenith Security Services at 575-626-3521 to schedule your free security assessment today.
For over 40 years, Sierra Blanca Motors here in Roswell have been providing locals with quality vehicles and are committed to providing you quality vehicles and service for many years to come. No sales gimmicks, no inflated pricing, just a quality pre-owned vehicle listed at retail pricing or less. Have a used vehicle to sell? Get top trade-in value or an amazing cash offer today. Let Danny or Jose provide you a great car buying experience. Call 575-622-7907 or stop by Sierra Blanca Motors at 720 South Main Street in Roswell. Se habla español.
When you can't be home, make your space feel more like home with Candlewood Suites, Roswell, New Mexico, featuring extended stay rooms, complete with kitchenettes in a quiet area, plus plenty of great amenities, including free hot coffee 24/7 and the Candlewood covered 24-hour convenience store, plus the Candlewood gym and free laundry facilities. Cool off in the outdoor pool, complete with hot tub, and enjoy the outdoor gazebo and grills. And the Candlewood lending locker for stuff you couldn't pack, like crock pots, board games, and more. Call 575-623-4300 to find out more. Candlewood Suites, where everyone here is sweet on you. Your home away from home.
Imagine pool water that is extremely soft and gentle on hair, skin, and eyes. Soft Swim is a chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard. Simple and easy, Soft Swim will give you a crystal clear pool that feels luxuriously soft. Your pool might just become the destination of the entire neighborhood. Application is a breeze, no mixing, no pre-dissolving, and routine maintenance is simple. Come to Mays Lumber Company today, the only dealer for Soft Swim by BioGuard.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force. And if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff. And you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock, and we are broadcasting live here at Cahoon Armory for the big open house here on the campus of the New Mexico Military Institute. They actually have the open house. We'll do the ribbon cutting and all that stuff at 10 a.m. this morning, and then right after that, they're going to be doing tours and all that kind of stuff. Is our guest here? Or?
No, I did not. I did not find them. I went to the front door.
Oh, okay. I guess they are. I guess they went to the other office, so they're en route. I thought they were here. So Mike's guest is at the.
They're en route.
And at the NIMI front door, and it shows Sean says en route with guest. So I don't know. They're on their way, I take it here. But yes, we are broadcasting live here at New Mexico Military Institute, the Cahoon Armory. It's a beautiful facilities. I hope you come out and check out the show, or come and check out the facilities here. It's just I mean, I saw the pictures online. We shared them on our Facebook page, and by all means, check them out. They're beautiful pictures, but they don't really do it justice. You got to come and see it for yourself. It's just the drink in the gym. It's just one of those things you can kind of sit here and sit in the bleachers and just you know what? Here's a scene I'll compare it to. And this is going to get me into trouble because this is that movie, the one movie I said I'll cry in. But you know in Rudy, the movie Rudy, and there's a scene where Rudy he's going to the Holy Cross College across the way from Notre Dame. And so he's trying to get a job with Charles Dutton to work grounds at Notre Dame Stadium.
Mic check 1, mic check 2.
It works, and it works, Jeff. And so he's there at Notre Dame Stadium, trying to get his job, but he's going and sitting in the bleachers in the corner of the stadium. He's just looking out and just watching it, and I think it's like maybe the cover photo of one of the movie or something. But whenever I see that image, I think of this place. Like I could easily see sitting over here in the corner and watch that down here. So they're getting ready for the grand opening here, the open house. So they've got catering trying to come in and do stuff, which I think we're in there.
Out already.
I think we're in their way, and then of course we got Jeff on the ones and twos, getting everything ready to go for. The up in the crow's nest up here, which I guess technically it's the catwalk and crow's nest, but it's a lot more.
Yeah, the video feed I got labeled it catwalk.
Yeah, and that's technically what it is, but as compared to the old catwalk, you could drive a truck down that. You know what I mean? It was
on the catwalk.
Yeah, it wasn't sexy catwalk walking. It was my knees are buckling catwalk walking, and so now this one's way more. Stout. I feel less oogie, and I'm not a heights guy, so I don't like heights. So this one doesn't bother me, but the old one. But please, if you get a chance,
imagine working on that desk. That's elevated like on top of everything else.
Oh
that's
yeah,
where Jeff works.
Well, that's where I'm guessing whoever's if you're calling games here. That's where the broadcasters will be up there too, with the scoreboard operator and all that. I would imagine you'll have.
It's kind of scary being up there.
Your play-by-play and all that.
To be honest.
Well, as long as I'm just coming and going, I think I'm okay. So I don't know about.
I wouldn't jumping down on that thing, but if it was me.
Well, I think I think you can take another way to get to here from there. But that's how we got to the VIP suite, was through the catwalk. But I think you can walk courtside, and there's some steps over in this back corner that'll get you up.
Yeah, there's some stairs back there.
Yeah, but it is a completely new, from the inside there is. it's almost exclusively new inside. I mean, the outside looks identical because it's preserved historically, but the moment you walk through the doors, it's a different level altogether here. So, you know what? Is there a volume control on that thing? See if we can turn down.
Yeah.
You know what? We might be able to turn ours down so we don't have to listen to all the testing and all that stuff there. I think. Yeah. That's a lot less distracting. Thank you. See, we're in the VIP suite, which is beautiful. It has that. But we're kind of sealed off from the gym part.
Yes.
But there is speakers in the, and then you can kind of turn on to get the ambience of the crowd and hear the mics there. And as you could hear, we had it going, and I was like, oh yeah, wait a minute, isn't there volume control over here? We could shut that off, I think. So,
yes.
We're good to go there.
This is
I
where
think
all the very important people sit and watch the game.
And that's just it. We talked with the general, and we talked with the AD and Colonel Baron, and they both said yes and no. I mean, obviously the alumni and the boosters and all that are going to want to do their thing out of here and do that, and they will. But
it's Baron, not Barrow, by the way. It's Rodney corrected me on that.
Oh, Baron.
Yes, because I thought it was Barrow because that's how it was written.
Oh, okay.
I got the card.
Okay.
On yesterday's show.
Okay, that's where I was out of pocket.
And I put that as the highlight, so
yeah.
that's my bad.
Okay, I was wondering what that was about. I was out of pocket, so I didn't know what was going on there. But anyway, they're going to have the boosters and they're going to be doing their thing here, but they really want the students to utilize this, and the students have as much a part of this VIP part as the rest do. So matter of fact, like I think they're going to be doing some food and stuff out of here for the open house. Hence the reason they want us out here.
I like that they were talking about the women's restrooms earlier, because me and Sean actually went into the women's restroom. It's like right back here.
Oh, you tore I think that's the volleyball locker room.
The
behind
locker
us.
room, and then goes into the. There's like a gaming lounge in there too. It's actually really nice.
Yeah.
They got USB chargers in the locker rooms and the lockers. You got USB chargers in the lockers. They actually have like a small, tiny room that has just 2 lockers by themselves. And and we thought that was funny.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I think is it's just an amazing facility. Yeah.
I'm glad I turned the volume down.
I haven't. Yeah, is that what's going on in the?
Because that would be here right now.
That would have been bad here. But come on over. Come on over here. We got our gentleman from Boys and Girls Club here. You get the uncomfortable seat. Sorry. Actually, yeah, we'll put you here on this chair. And I didn't catch your name. What was your name? I'm sorry.
My name is Rick.
Hi, Rick. This is Rick with Boys and Girls Club. Are you here with the Roswell Boys and Girls Club, or do you come from higher up the organization there?
So technically I work at the Roswell Boys and Girls Club, but I'm the chief operations officer, so I am second in command of both of them, overlooking those.
Okay, so you cover the Ruidoso?
Ruidoso and Roswell, yes.
So which is kind of almost most of southeast New Mexico, right? Your umbrella, your map.
Exactly.
Of Boys and Girls Club. Very cool.
Yeah.
Good deal. So you're just in town checking on things and seeing how...
No, I actually work in Roswell.
Okay,
because how they wanted to do it all was they wanted the chief executive officer, Tim, they wanted him in Ruidoso, or that's where he lives anyways.
Okay.
So to kind of balance things out, they brought me into the Roswell location.
Okay.
LAMB.
Sorry, we're doing it on the fly here. As we're when we do shows on the road here, it gets a little informal. So we're a little informal. Actually, I take it back. It gets a lot informal. We're a little informal during the normal times. We're a lot informal. We're on the road. But for folks that don't know, Boys and Girls Club has really been thriving and growing here over the last, really through COVID. I know that's weird to say. But here in Roswell, right before COVID, the Boys and Girls Club was getting really ramped back up and getting very busy here in Roswell. And then COVID hit, and I'm sure that hurt what you guys are doing. But at the same time, many people probably found Boys and Girls Club because of COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now that we're coming out of COVID, I'm sure you guys are looking to really go gangbusters and getting back into getting all the programs ramped back up and getting getting back to where you were pre-COVID here.
Yeah, we are, we've got the fall program starting here up soon after school. The downside is right now we just don't have a teen program going, but we are working to rebuild all of that stuff. We're looking at new ideas to bring stuff in to really intrigue the different age groups so that they're actually having fun when they come instead of just, the same old, maybe play some basketball or something. Like, we want to make this even more fun than what it was even in past years.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So, with the fall coming in, is it like new faces coming in, bringing in new ideas, or are you getting a little bit of the mix of everything here?
It's kind of the mix of everything.
Okay.
We've got some people there that have been there for a while.
Mhm.
I actually just started in May.
Okay.
So
you're one of the new ones.
I'm one of the new ones coming in with new ideas. Of course, Tim, he has been with the Boys and Girls Club for 10 years.
Yeah, I think we've talked to him on the radio here once or twice. Yeah.
And then, in 2017, of course, the Roswell, they both combined and everything. And so at that point, his ideas are being put into it. My ideas are being put into it. It's kind of a nice mix of being able to figure out a good balance of making Roswell's Boys and Girls Club and Ruidoso's Boys and Girls Club just much better than what it ever was.
Good deal. Well, it sounds like if you're interested, with, kids will be going back to school here and they're looking for fall programs and things. Now's the time to start doing your research and signing up for that. I would imagine, too, we still got some summer left. If there's kids that want to do some of the summer stuff, there's probably still a little time to get some of that in before they go back to school,
There's a couple spots, not a ton right now and everything, especially since there's only, 3 weeks left of summer.
Sure.
But after school program is definitely, we're pushing to get kids in on that.
Sure.
Right now it's $40, and then there's a $20 van fee. So technically it's $60, but one of the things that we've been working on this summer is getting sponsors for the vans. And if
offset
we get
some of that cost.
Yeah,
and
so that would actually, if we could get a sponsor for each one of the vans, not only are they, of course, getting their logos put on the van, so we're representing them, but the parents' cost a month, instead of it being $60, now comes down to $40. So
Okay.
we're finding every way possible to make it as cheap as possible for these parents and these kids to be able to come and actually enjoy their time.
I know that's something that whenever I talk to someone from Boys and Girls Club, it's always been that, look, yeah, we got to pay our bills too, and there is a cost to this, but we never want money to be the hurdle between a kid having an opportunity here and not having an opportunity. So we'll figure out the money if that's the problem, whether we have to do some help to get some outside stuff.
Oh,
They really, that's, so if you're, as a parent, you're kind of like, well, I don't know if I can afford, please come anyway. We can work those details. The important thing is to get your kid involved and to get them exposed to all the cool things that Boys and Girls Club has, that from the educational side to the interactions in group and socialization skills that are very much, especially with COVID, and we're playing catch up on all that stuff. There are so many assets that your children need that Boys and Girls Club provide that if the $40 is a problem, we'll figure that one out. That's something we can work around.
And it's true. We have scholarship programs. There's not a ton of scholarships out there, but we have scholarship programs that you're able to apply for. What it is it's presented before a board, and they kind of go through everything. There's certain documents that they're going to need. But we work with parents to try and find ways to save them money if that's a possible thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So please don't let that be a deterrent for signing your kids up here. Please,
Oh, no, not
please reach, because I know we're in the summer. We always the mantra is you work and we want those kids at good safe places to do things and all that. But now we're shifting to fall, which would be more of an after school type scenario. Same way, where after school, instead of your kid going home to an empty house, or if you're working or something like that, your child can come to the Boys and Girls Club facility, and if I remember right, usually they got them first working on homework as soon as they get home. They're at home. As soon as they get to the facility, they're working on that homework and doing that stuff. And then once that's complete, then we get to do the fun stuff and doing some of the things. And of course, I think it really is it's getting a chance for them. It's supervised and everything, but it's also kid driven. where the older kids will probably create some of the program and some of the direction in which things go, and under the supervision of the staff at Boys and Girls Club. But that's all part of it. The kids kind of create the program a little bit, or at least influence the program heavily into what you do and what kind of things are done. So, but all of that's a good thing to have, and it's much more enriching in things for some families to have this opportunity. So the kid, instead of going home and waiting for mom and dad to get home, and you hope they did their homework or hope they didn't do something they weren't supposed to do, they're at Boys and Girls Club. They're having fun. They're making friends. They're doing their schoolwork, but at the same time, they're getting to do some growing and fun things that they wouldn't get to do sitting by themselves at home.
No, it's true. One of the things, like you said, one of the first things is we help them with their homework. We want them to succeed, so the staff is there to help them learn from there. But one thing that we're really trying to work for this fall is trying to get Lego robotics really built into the program.
Okay.
There's a couple things that we're still missing that we need, but we've got the Lego robotics there, and so we're really going to be working on trying to get that going, because, I love technology, and who doesn't love to just build something?
Well, Legos are cross-generational.
Exactly.
I don't care. I know these are robotics, so it's a little more advanced Legos, but they're still Legos.
Exactly.
And every generation of parents, grandparents at this point, we all have a Legos experience in our lives, and that's a generation a generational binding versus a dividing type thing, where multi-generations can relate and love Legos, and of course they get the whole STEM lesson from this.
Exactly.
Because the robotics are going to get science, math, engineering, rudimentary, obviously, but getting the concepts of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we want, is we want to build off of those basics and let them grow from there. And that's one of the struggles we're having a little bit with the teen program, is finding out where is that basic line for them at, and then building from there, and also making sure that we can get them to the club too. Because right now we pick up from certain elementary schools like Pecos and Nancy Lopez.
Okay.
So, we pick up from them and bring them over. So trying to find a way to work to get teens there and get enough teens there.
Sure.
There's a lot of ideas we have for that program. It's just figuring out the basics.
The logistics and things like that. So, parents, if you want to get involved in that, as far as help and signing up your kids, but if you, have ideas on things with that logistical side too and helping out there, I'm sure the Boys and Girls Club would love to hear your suggestions and thoughts on that too. But like you said, you'll pick the kids up here. I think, do some of them ride the bus to other places to get to you guys too?
No, not at this time. We've got 3 vans.
I think in the past they've had to do some of that, but
and, especially like during the remodel, they were going to the aquatic center. But we have 3 vans where we actually go and pick up kids and bring them to us.
Good deal.
So that's part of, reducing some of those costs right now, of course, having that van fee. But if we can find those sponsors, which we've been working on pretty hard these last month and a half or so, then that's just less costs that they have to worry about.
We have some great businesses in our community that step up time and time again, helping out organizations like Boys and Girls Club. So I imagine we'll be thanking some folks here in a couple months here, or next time you come on and do this. But really, now's the time to think of fall. So if you have a student, what's the age range we're talking here for these kids?
So we're looking basically 1st through 5th grade.
Okay.
At this point in time, it's next fall we're going to be looking more. First on up past 5th grade into middle school and high school. But right now,
focusing on the elementary students.
We're focusing on the elementary. We want to really build that program and then continue to progress from there.
Excellent. So, but now's the time to sign up. Please do. I think there's probably several ways. You can always come by the Boys and Girls Club facility there.
Oh, yeah.
And talk. And then I highly recommend that, because that way you can talk to the staff. A lot of times you can tour the facility and see, depending on what time of day you come, obviously. But you can kind of see and get your hands in the dirt a little bit and see what it's all about. But of course, you can reach out through social media or Facebook or phone number and ask questions or anything that way too. But I think as parents and things, I think you should at least make a trip out there and tour and see. That way you can see exactly where your kids are going to be and what kind of facility. And then when you hype it up for them, because I know some kids will come loving this, and others you're going to drag them into it. They're going to, and then once they get there, they're going to love it. I know how kids work.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, my son's the same way when he goes to daycare.
They love it once they're there, but sometimes getting them there is the battle. But definitely there. So as far as that goes, I imagine just look for Boys and Girls Club, Southeast New Mexico, Roswell on Facebook, and the Facebook page should pop right up there.
So it comes up as Boys and Girls Club of Chavez and Lincoln County.
Okay, very good.
So if you look that up, it's real simple. It pulls us right up and everything. Our webpage, which is bgcclc.org.
Okay.
It's basically the whole thing, but just the letters.
Okay. And if you don't remember that, just Google Big Brothers Big Sisters Chavez County. Boys and Girls Club, sorry. I always do that at least once, and there it is today for Boys and Girls Club. Definitely do the Google search. Put in Roswell, Chavez County, Lincoln County. All will get you to the website if you don't Google it. So
Exactly.
I always do that at least once. I always, because they're both great organizations. I have you both on, and so I do that from time to time.
Oh, yeah. No, I get it. I completely get it.
My mistake. I apologize there. But really, things are winding back up here and getting it up for the fall here with Boys and Girls Club. Please come by the facility. Come check it out. Come sign. It's what's the actual physical address?
201 South Garden.
Yeah, I know the vicinity, but I never know the exact address.
Yeah, so literally if you're heading east on 2nd, it's right behind that farmer's market right there. So real close, real simple, nice big building. We've got plenty of grass in the backyard. We love taking the kids outside, especially when it's warm outside to play. And it's really nice, too, during the summertime because when we have our summer program, we've got the splash pad right there. So we visit it like once a week.
I would imagine, it's a short little jaunt.
Oh, yeah, it's super simple. We try and really do try and make it as fun as possible for everybody.
Absolutely. Do some of the adult staff try to sneak into? I would if I was at the splash pad. Yeah,
every time. I think last week one of our staff, I was supposed to go relieve her so she could go home, and she was completely soaking wet because she had ran in there and got underneath the bucket and stuff. So yeah. No, everybody has a blast when they do it.
Good deal, because I'm just thinking, I'm like, if I was said staff and I'm there and everyone's under there but me, I would just go under. I'd be like, I know I'm a grown man and this is for children, but I'm hot.
Oh, yeah, no, it's true. Shoot, we, at the end of the school program last year, it was really funny because we decided to have one of the Fridays, we decided to have a dance party. Just turn music on in the gym and just have fun. Staff was getting involved in it. They were doing the Macarena right there. Like, so many fun things. Like, it really is a fun thing to do when the staff is involved.
Absolutely. So please, like you said, right now, looking for the 1st through 5th grade elementary age students to sign up for the fall festivities here, or fall programs at Boys and Girls Club here. Please look for Boys and Girls Club of Chavez and Lincoln Counties on Facebook. Same thing, Google search for the website there as well. And then, of course, just come on by the facility there on Garden. And what's hours of operation if people just come by for a visit?
At this point in time, because it's summer program, we're technically there from 7:30 to 5:30.
Okay.
If somebody's not up front when you knock on the door, usually we have a phone number up there you can call because we're wandering around and everything like that.
Part of the facility
exactly.
Else,
checking on things, getting lunch ready and everything. So, come by anytime, mornings, early mornings right away, and of course late in the afternoons, usually when parents are picking up the kids. But we will always find a way to work you through. And I'm there most of the time from, 8:30, 9 o'clock until 4 or 5 o'clock, somewhere around there. More than welcome to come by and just talk to me if you want to. That's a real simple thing, and that's kind of part of my job is doing the whole tour guide thing.
Nice.
So yeah.
So you're good. So maybe if you get really into tour guide, maybe they can use you later today to get some tours around here.
That works for me.
We're walking. And
on the left, we have the gym here.
Right. And on the right, a vending machine. We're walking. Yes, so very good. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate the visit here. Is there anything we missed? Anything you wanted to share that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
So the only other thing that I wanted to kind of put out there is August 6th. So that's the health convention that's going on.
Oh, yes, Health Expo. Yes.
Exactly. So in the morning at 7 a.m., we are actually, the Boys and Girls Club is sponsoring the fun run that's happening.
Oh, very good.
And we are making it a Footloose fun run. So It's $30, but the fun thing is you get to pull out your old 80s outfits,
There you
dust
go.
them off. It's a 5K. You could run, you can walk. It doesn't matter.
A sachet, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you do sign up and pay for it, you can go to our website or you can go to our Facebook page. And you pay for the tickets, you're going to get a free shirt. There's a guaranteed free shirt as long as you've paid through this weekend.
Okay.
And then if we've got leftovers, then we'll go from
The first come, first serve basis. And then obviously the proceeds from the 5K go back into the programs for Boys and Girls Club
Exactly,
here.
yes.
So which is a good thing. So when we're talking about sponsoring the vans and all the things we were talking about here, if you want to support that kind of stuff, come get your 80s gear on and get ready to run and dance or skip or it's a fun run. And so however you go the 5K, as long as it's not motor propelled, you're okay. So if you
have
want
to use your legs in some way to move.
Yes.
Right.
So if you want to walk, skip, sachet, dance,
dancing would be fun. I'd like to see
moonwalk
that.
the 5K, perhaps.
That would be really cool.
Whatever
Maybe
you
put some
need to
Michael
do.
Jackson music on.
Why not?
Right.
I was listening, because I traveled. I went out of town for a couple days, and so you catch a lot of the radio, and I heard Thriller like 3 times on my time out when I was. It has nothing to do with anything. You just mentioned Michael Jackson. So, but again, that's coming up August 6th.
August 6th, yes.
What's the website or wherever they can sign up for
So
the
they can
5K?
either go to our Facebook page,
Okay.
and click on the link, or they can go to our website itself and click on the link. Both links are on there.
Okay.
Real simple. You click on there, it pulls it up. It's just a flat $30 fee. We're not the website that's being used isn't charging anything extra. So all proceeds go directly to the Boys and Girls Club.
Excellent. So help out that way, and of course, maybe turn it into which Footloose is better.
I like it.
The 80s Footloose, the OG, or that rehash they did a couple years ago here. So I'm guessing younger people are going to gravitate towards the newer one.
Probably, but I'd really like to see that OG one brought out a little bit more,
I
too.
think so, too. You can't have enough Kevin Bacon in our lives.
Exactly.
Got to cut loose. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate the visit.
Thank you for
we'll see you
having
next
me.
time, okay?
Definitely.
All right, it is 9:43. We're going to pause for news and a quick break, and then I think we're going to talk to someone else here from the New Mexico Military Institute campus before we go. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Valley News Update.
Awesome.
I'm Jared Cirillo.
That wasn't
Eddie
so
County
bad, was it?
Sheriff Mark Cage will be offering active shooter training for the public at no cost through a program called Operation Hard Target. The first training session is scheduled for Saturday, July 30th. After that, the training will be offered twice a month. Seating will be limited. Registration will be required. Businesses, faith groups, schools, civic organization, and groups of 15 or more can submit a training request form to schedule a group training. To register, just call the sheriff's office. The main operator of the WIP site has now been replaced. Nuclear Waste Partnership's contract is scheduled to expire in September, and now a $3 billion 10-year deal has been awarded to another company to conduct the daily activities at the waste isolation pilot plant near Carlsbad. The DOE awarding the contract to a firm called Tularosa Basin Range Services based out of Reston, Virginia. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Truth and nothing but. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
National Association of Hispanic Journalists responded with a rebuke, "We're not tacos." Using breakfast tacos to try and demonstrate the uniqueness of Latinos in San Antonio demonstrates a lack of cultural knowledge and sensitivity to the diversity of Latinos in the region. Now, we've been seeing this with every demographic. You break things down demographically, young people, they're abandoning Joe Biden in droves, as are Hispanic Americans, as are African Americans. If you look at the New York Times Siena poll, shows African American voters deserting Biden in droves. 47% of African Americans say they want a different Democratic presidential nominee. Who, by the way, who would want this guy?
Keeping you on the straight path. Later today, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Listen, the last time the economy looked like this, the stock market tanked 50%. The U.S. dollar lost 46% of its value, and the price of oil quadrupled. Yet, while the U.S. economy collapsed and inflation ran through the roof, the price of gold shot up 1,300%, and silver rocketed over 2,400%. So if history repeats itself, we could see it happen again. Can you afford to miss what could be the biggest gold and silver boom of our generation? That's why I want you to call Goldco at 855-815-GOLD, because when you do, you'll not only get the chance to protect your retirement savings with gold and silver, but as a Sean Hannity listener, you could get $10,000 or more in free silver just for doing it. This is a rare opportunity, and that's why I want you to call. Again, Goldco at 855-815-GOLD. That's Goldco, 855-815-GOLD. Don't miss out. Check them out today.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still a slight chance of those afternoon showers and thunderstorms today, but we will be getting a lot of sunshine as well, and our afternoon highs in the upper 90s to about 100. Maybe a shower this evening, partly cloudy overnight, and down to the mid-70s, and then we heat up on Thursday. Looks like low 100s with sunshine. About the same on Friday, mostly sunny and hot. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. And we got fall sports coming up and previews very shortly. But the foremost question on my mind, are we going to be seeing masks all season long, all year long, 2022-23? Hopefully not. Everything kind of changed at the end of February, and all of the spring sports we saw, we didn't see the mask wearing as we've seen over the last couple of years. Of course, all of those were outdoor sports. Now, last we saw the indoor sports, the basketball players last year were wearing masks over the mouths, but not over the nose. You had wrestlers awkwardly trying to keep masks on while they were wrestling somebody. But I've been assured that the New Mexico Activities Association will follow whatever the state says, so let's keep our fingers crossed and keep an eye on those numbers. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. The latest inflation report, even worse than analysts were expecting. The Labor Department's newly released Consumer Price Index shows inflation surged 1.3% in June from the month before. The year-over-year gain, 9.1%, is a fresh 40-year high. Twitter is suing Tesla CEO Elon Musk in a bid to force him to complete his $44 billion takeover of the social media company. Musk backtracked on the deal, saying Twitter failed to provide necessary information about the number of fake accounts on its site. Days ahead of a shareholder vote at Spirit Airlines over Frontier, the vote canceled for a fourth time due to a lack of support from investors. Frontier Airlines CEO says his airline is very far from winning Spirit shareholder approval for the deal. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
It's an old story. You go on vacation, you relax, you have a good time, and then you come home to a world of disarray. Your mail is backed up. You have 100 messages on your voicemail. Your lawn is 3 feet tall, and your pool has developed a nasty algae problem. Well, the good people at BioGuard can't solve all your problems, but they can help you with your pool. So before you go on vacation, stop at Mays Lumber at 115 South Virginia in Roswell and ask about their special vacation plan. BioGuard has a wide variety of products that will find algae and take care of your pool. So when you come home from your vacation, you can depend on your pool to relieve your stress and not add to it. Because BioGuard guards more than your pool. They guard your time, your vacation, and your peace of mind. BioGuard at Mays Lumber, 115 South Virginia in Roswell.
We cut to order, special order, products sold and new. You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 50 minutes after 9 o'clock. Got a few more minutes.
From 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. I like saying
back math.
I like saying it that way.
All right.
I change it up all the time. Sometimes I say 10 minutes till. Sometimes I say 9:50.
Somebody asked me the time and it was 9:50. I would say it's 9:50.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'd say it's 10 away from 10.
I'm a complex dude. What do you want to say?
You really are. A lot of layers. You're the onion. Yeah, 10 until 10.
10 to 10.
Oh, that's
9:50. 50 minutes until 9 o'clock.
A real New England thing. You ever hear somebody say it's 10 of?
10 of 10.
Yeah.
I have, yeah.
10 of 10?
I have.
Like what? I don't know if that's before or after, though.
Yeah. Or I could go in Spanish and be a que horas. No 20. Yeah, there you go. But, yeah, it's 51 minutes. 51 minutes after 9 o'clock here on a beautiful Wednesday morning here at Cahoon Army. Actually, we're about ready to wrap up our broadcast, and I think they're none too ready to get us out of here.
It does feel like we've overstayed.
Well, they got a show to get ready for here, and we're in the way. So I understand that completely. But give us 9 more minutes, and we'll pack up.
They were here for our show. Now we're in the way of theirs.
Exactly. But the grand opening here, like I said, about 10 a.m. this morning, they're going to have the ribbon cutting and all of that good stuff here. And then open house folks are touring, get to come and tour and see the new Cahoon Armory here on the New Mexico Military Institute campus. If you want, easiest way to get here is coming off of Kentucky.
Practice.
Yeah, coming off Kentucky. And then you'll see the I think it's Honor Drive, I believe, is the road that this comes off of. I believe it's off of Kentucky, right past the tennis courts. If you turn turn right past the tennis courts, just south of the tennis courts. That entrance just south of the tennis courts off of Kentucky. That'll take you right up to the Armory there. I believe you're right. It is Honor.
So get Honor.
And then Offer.
And then get Offer.
First we Honor, and then we Offer.
I was just noticing as I'm kind of sitting across from this the beautiful picture in front of us here. They happened to snap a picture of that building on like one of the rarest snowy days.
Yeah, we got snow.
Roswell.
It's a snowy day here on what we're talking about. We've been doing the show from the VIP lounge here at the Cahoon Armory, and the back wall of the VIP room. They've got couple of shots on the ends of volleyball and basketball happening in the facility. But right behind that is a picture of the front entrance of the Cahoon Armory. Mm-hmm. But it's a winter shot because it's got snow on the railings and the trees, and it's a beautiful shot of the Armory.
Very nice shot.
But you kind of see the age of it, too, there a little bit as you see the 1928 side. And you're like, man, you forget that building was built.
Well, as General Griswold pointed out, there's only 3 buildings on this whole campus that aren't in the registry of historical buildings.
This is almost a 100-year-old building we're sitting in.
It's absolutely. The outside is historic, but the inside is absolutely monumental. You got to come check it out.
Well, and that's what I think you weren't here yet. Are they doing shooting? What are they doing?
They're doing like a floor show happening.
Are they dropping bombs over here? What's going on?
Def Leppard's getting ready to do a set.
I hear the music and everything, and I'm like, I was like, what's going on here? So pretty cool. I wonder if the coach is going to try to come on real quick. I'm hoping. We'll see. We'll give it a few minutes. We don't have much time. That's the only thing I'm worried about. But we had the speaker on in here earlier, so I'm thinking if we turn that back on, we get it in here. Because when we were testing the mic, they were testing the mics earlier, we were catching all that here. So yeah, just do a quick up and down just to see if we get music on there. Roy, I'm curious. There it is.
Nice.
All right, now turn it down. No, it was distracting earlier when I was trying to talk, and they were doing. I was like, "Oh yeah," it was very distracting when they were talking over the mic testing, and I'm like, "Hey," and all I hear is testing 1, 2. I'm like, yeah. Now I remembered. Oh yeah, I saw a volume control on that wall over there. Shut that baby down. But yeah, this is. I'm looking forward to see a basketball game or a volleyball game here. It should be. Like you said,
I just want to see. I want to see the first few floor scuffs. I want to hear a couple of squeaks, and really break it in.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful facility here, and like I said, open houses today, and then of course, if you're looking to have students attend here at the campus, come check out this open house. Come talk to the staff. Like I said, the cadets will be here in a couple of weeks, but if you've got kids looking to make a future, maybe there will be high school kid aged here in a couple of years or going to college, and they're looking for an opportunity. Right here.
Absolutely.
NMMI.
A fantastic one.
Yeah. I dig the chairs, too, up in the luxury book. We're sitting in these recliners. By the way, you know what? The camera, when I keep getting up, they've got, like, the Bronco logos. Embroidered in. Some have the NMMI logo with the kind of looks close to the Yankees logo with the NMMI all together.
This is how you know they really want to keep you as a team.
Yeah.
You're doing your job right if those are the facilities they let you use.
Yeah. Well, and I think, and let's face it, I think, this was in the works and they've been doing it, but the fact that they got a football team that won a championship, they have a volleyball team that was 3 points away from a national championship, that puts this school on the radar of a lot of people in the athletic world that maybe weren't looking at this place for athletics.
This place 100% is not without its merits.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone knows this is a fine educational facility, everything there, but because of military-style training and discipline, kids that have prospects because of their sports skills don't want to come here.
Right.
Because they're getting wooed by OUs and
you don't get to party here.
Tech and
but
OSU and all that.
Etiquette here, which is kind of a cool thing. The colonel yesterday was telling a story on the air about how one student went off to like a showcase basically with a bunch of other college students, and they had to go to a formal dinner. And everybody else was bumbling around, not knowing how to handle it. But he knew exactly which fork did what, and he was etiquette trained. That's something you don't get outside of the establishment. Like
is that still called elocution lessons? Or
elocution, etiquette.
Or is elocution more of the lady stuff?
I think elocution is like that plus the walking.
Okay, I didn't know if that all encompassed.
I think it's basically
the meal stuff, or that was. But I didn't know if that, because some of the elocution stuff falls into proper posture and crossing your legs, and that's not guy related.
Right.
I mean, it's a good idea to have proper posture, but we don't wear skirts.
As I sit like this.
But we don't wear skirts as often, and so we got to be mindful of how we sit.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that as much. So.
I had it pointed out to me, actually, and now that it was pointed out to me, I can't not think about it every time it happens. I'm a man spreader.
I'm a spreader and a tucker. I ball up.
All right. It's more info than I wanted to get into on this morning show.
Not that way.
I know. Actually, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But like when I sit in chairs and
you'll
stuff.
You'll put feet under.
Like this chair, if I was at home, I'd be sitting up with my feet in it and kind of in a ball. That's generally how I sit.
Sure.
Curl up. There you go.
The most I'm going to cross is every now and again I'll do this. Pretty much it. Just one.
I do that all the time.
Ankle on knee.
No, I do that all the time.
I've seen men sit fully crossed, and I'm like, it feels like there's no way I could pull that off.
Yeah.
I don't think I can get my knees that close together.
No, I don't like that move either. Like this thing?
Yeah, I don't think I can pull that off.
I can do it, but it's not comfortable.
I can't. There's no way I could do that. No, I literally could. We don't have time in the morning show to even try, but there's no way. I can't do it. My hips will not allow me to do that.
All right. Well, I didn't get a chance to talk about any of my vacation stuff
That's
today.
What tomorrow's for.
Maybe what tomorrow is. I did a lot of eating and I did a lot of liking, and I'll talk all about that stuff. And I had a good trip overall. Had a really nice trip. It was nice to relax. I ain't gonna lie. 8 o'clock. No, not yesterday morning. Monday morning. Y'all are doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting in a hot tub.
Nice.
Giant walk-in hot tub. It was amazing.
Listening to our show, I appreciate that. That's well done. That's what a nice
sitting
guy.
in a hot tub, just loving life, and because I remember sitting and I was like, I'd be doing the show right now.
Doing radio right now. Heck yeah.
All right, we got to go. Have an amazing day. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of it. We will talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow.